Cable, Channel 5 presents the Super Regions, Regions 7 and 8 Wrestling from Cherry Hill East High School. Hi everybody, Nick Burzichelli along with John Vogeding and Steve Anuszewski. And we're at Cherry Hill East High School where the Super Regions are taking place, which of course is Region 7 and 8, and of which of course is the first round of the state tournament. Steve, just give us a brief overview of how this tournament is set up and what we will be looking for tonight.
Nick, what this is the first two rounds of the New Jersey State Wrestling Championships. The first round being all second and third place winners from Region 7 and 8 at this site. There are three other sites around New Jersey where the same thing is going on tonight or tomorrow night. Now what's going to happen is the wrestlers who wrestled in the first round, which is concluding right now, if they win, will wrestle a region champion from the opposite region. In other words, a Region 7 wrestler will wrestle a Region 8. They are cross-bracketed. Then what will happen is one wrestler from that will advance to the quarterfinals of the states and be seeded tomorrow. The other wrestler will advance to the wrestlebacks. So anyone that you see wrestling in our second round tonight will be alive when we go to Atlantic City next week, either for first place or third place.
Great, thanks, Steve. So, John, everyone that we'll see tonight will be going to Atlantic City. We've had an exciting first round tonight. Tell us a little bit about a few of the matches.
Well, we have, really, and, there's been some upsets. There's been some expected things happening. I think, right off the bat, we're looking at 103 with the only senior in the field there, Brad Bauer of Lenape, going against two freshmen and a sophomore. He'll wrestle Kevin Van Brill tonight, who got a walk through the first round. He got a bye because permanent wrestler didn't make weight, Cliff Huff. So he'll go against Bauer, and Zekman, the surprise winner in Region 8, will go against Taylor. And it goes on and on throughout the lineup. I think looking ahead, some of the key matches, we're looking at Greg Bauer, the brother of Brad Bauer of Lenape, wrestling Tom Casino of Overbrook this evening. Bobby Hansen puts his undefeated mark on the line for Buna. We're looking at Justin Hurst of Lenape going against Octavio Liriano of Buna. And probably one of the toughest matches tonight is a rematch, a Region 8 rematch, where Pete DePaul of Paulsboro pinned Tony Rodriguez of Oakrest in 50 seconds in the semifinals of Region 8. They go at each other tonight. And, of course, Mark Assam, who's got an undefeated season going from Glassboro, meets a returning state champion in Mike Sandelier. The big surprise in that weight is that Greg Harvey got beat by Andrew Jensen of Cherry Hill East in overtime, and, of course, he's out of the tournament. Brett Matter puts his undefeated record on the line for Del Rand tonight. He wrestles Paul Castellini of Buna. We'll see the sophomore from Haddonfield. Everybody's talking about Bill Candy. He'll put his 27-1 record up against George Florence. It goes on and on. We'll see some great heavyweights, two undefeated ones. Region 7 has Kevin Landolt of Holy Cross, and Region 8, of course, has Cornelius Cruz of Oakrest.
Okay, thank you. Well, the stage is set for Region 7 and 8 Super Regions. We'll take a quick break from Cherry Hill East, and we'll be back right after this. And we're at 103 pounds, the first match of the evening for us. It's Mike Zekman of Woodbury going up against Aaron Taylor of Camden Catholic. Zekman 24-5, just a freshman, and Aaron Taylor from Camden Catholic is a sophomore. We're on mat number 1, and when we do mat number 1, you'll see that that'll be the solid center circle, white tonight, and we'll be working two mats, and that center circle, of course, will be red. And working mat number 1 tonight will be Steve Anuszewski.
Nick, what happened there was Keith Taylor, the Camden Catholic wrestler, went in on a barrel roll or a dump and took Mike Zekman down, but did not get any back points. Taylor is an experienced leg wrestler, a district champion in District 28. Zekman finished third in District 29, but went on to win the Region 8 championship.
And of course, when we go to mat number 2, we'll be flipping back and forth. John Vogeding will have mat number 2. We're looking for Kevin Van Brill, the sophomore from Clearview, coming up against Brad Bauer from Lenape, a senior 22-2.
Kevin Van Brill, who was upset in the region finals by Mike Zekman. He had beaten Zekman earlier in the district semifinals by a fall, but Zekman came back to win the region championship.
31 seconds remaining in the first period. Taylor of Camden Catholic leading 2-0. Has the cross-body ride in.
Here's a situation where what he's trying to do, Nick, is just destroy the bottom wrestler's base and get a half Nelson. Zekman trying to work the head.
Well, in this round, Steve, we'll have all the region winners will be wrestling this round.
That's right, Nick. Taylor lost in the region finals to Brad Bauer from Lenape, and his other loss this season was to Kyle Talley of St. Mark's by a 2-1 score. Quite a year by the sophomore from Camden Catholic. Zekman just a freshman.
See head coach Bill Lucas in the stands, on the sideline, excuse me. He is in the corner.
He's there along with former Woodbury wrestler Jack Hill, who will be taking over for Lucas next year, we understand.
9 seconds remaining in the first period. The first period where Aaron Taylor of Camden Catholic takes a 2-0 lead over the freshman Mike Zekman of Woodbury.
Taylor controlled the first period, and in this match he is taking bottom. I believe Zekman deferred to Taylor, and Taylor is going to take the defensive position.
Getting ready to start over on mat number 2. We have John Vogeding waiting. John, it looks like we have Kevin Van Brill of Clearview and Brad Bauer of Lenape, and that quickly, 6 seconds, Bauer gets the takedown.
Bauer is an outstanding individual. He's a senior, Nick, and he's wrestling a freshman, Kevin Van Brill. As good a season as Van Brill has, Bauer has been almost as powerful. His 2 losses, he lost in a Neptune tournament, then he lost to Curtis Huff of Pemberton, who finished 3rd in Region 7 and did not make weight tonight, so that's how Kevin Van Brill got to this position. On a walkthrough, we got a bye to get into this position. Van Brill's 2 losses this year. He lost to McLernan of Triton, who was eliminated earlier this evening, and then he came back and pinned him in the regional tournament. And he also lost to Zekman, the big upset in the Region 8 finals. Right now, Brad Bauer, whose father is the athletic director at Lenape High School, has a commanding lead and is getting some back points.
Yeah, real nice tight waist, near arm tilt. He has Van Brill on his back, and he's going to get a 3 count out of this. Looks like he's going to get 3 points near fall.
Bobby Ely, the official on the mat. Nick, the referee in charge. His partner is John Giovanetti.
Now, John, we've seen first round wrestling. We've actually seen the side officials come in tonight and possibly overrule the center official's call, which is kind of contradictory what we've been saying in District 29 and region wrestling is they are usually charged with technical violations.
We specifically saw it in the Greg Harvey match when he was wrestling Andrew Jensen of Cherry Hill East, and what happened in overtime, the official on the mat, Tom Reynolds, indicated clearly he had a takedown, which would have given Harvey the win, and as he stepped back onto the mat, assistant official Roy Fenimore and Tom Reynolds discussed it, and then Tom Reynolds took the 2 points away. And shortly thereafter, Jensen got a takedown, won the match in overtime. And I'm clearly mystified because it looked like a good takedown to me.
Yeah, I thought it was a takedown. I was just kind of astonished that the points were wiped off only because you educated me the week before.
Yeah, as we mentioned last week, Nick, during the regionals and even during the districts, the other man on the mat is what's called an assistant. He's not a side judge. He has no bearing in any of the calls. He can be asked of his opinion. He can help call the cautions. He can help call the locking hands. He can see equipment violations. But clearly, the man who is a referee makes all judgment calls. And a takedown, in my opinion, is a judgment call. Evidently,
they didn't read the rule book where they just made the call. I mean, it's that simple. No matter what, the wrestlers are moving on. 9 seconds remaining in the 103 pounds of Van Brill and Bauer match.
And he's fighting back, Nick.
Van Brill down by 5. And the clock's going to run out on him, and that'll be the end of the first period where Brad Bauer is leading 5-0 over Kevin Van Brill. And we are going to go back over to mat number 1 where Zekman is down by 4
That's right, Nick. Mike Zeckman is trailing Aaron Taylor 4-0 heading into the third period of this pre-quarterfinal match. In the second period, Zeckman was in the offensive position. Taylor scored a reversal. Some action on the other mat.
Yeah, very quickly, let's go over to Kevin Van Brill. Headlocks. Brad Bayer of Lenape.
You know, and I've seen no takedown given yet by the official either, Nick, so I'm not sure. I know he doesn't have back points. The official indicated the angle was not there, but I don't even know if he got takedown. Potentially dangerous and stands him up.
Unbelievable call. I thought at least a takedown.
Well,
and he had Bayer in trouble.
I thought so.
Unbelievable.
Well, I guess I better go back and read the rule book.
I'll tell you, it's going to be a long night up here because I've been listening to Steve Anuszewski and John Vogeding talk about the officiating. They kind of were mentioning, hey, it's supposed to get better as you get higher.
Well, you know, one thing about a headlock takedown, an official's not going to give a headlock takedown until the wrestler executing that knocks the other wrestler off his base, which I thought Van Brill had knocked him off his base because the official seemed to indicate that there was still no breaking of the angle to get a back count. I thought surely he had 2 points for a takedown.
Well, without question, there was 2 points there.
Yep.
And not only that, but the potentially dangerous was stopped as he was going to his back. That might have been a case where you give 2 back points.
2 automatically because it would have been back points. May not have held him there, but maybe the tilt was there enough for the back point. But Brad Bayer of Lenape is injured on that headlock. So he's going to take some time out. He has a 2-minute injury timeout. Once you go over 2 minutes, if you aren't able to continue, you have to disqualify the match.
You lose by default if you can't continue after 2 minutes because there was nothing illegal there. But I don't know. I'm kind of mystified.
Well, 30 seconds taken off the clock, so 1:30 remaining in the second period. It's still 5-0. Brad Bayer of Lenape.
And Van Brill had looked so much more confident starting that period than he had in the first period. He got himself taken down the first period. He had back points scored against him, and he kind of looked kind of tentative, like a freshman. But he started this period looking a lot more confident on his feet.
He's got the cross body right in, but you can see Bayer has the leg underhook, so there'll be no control.
Nothing yet. Might be a stalemate more than anything.
We were in a neutral position. And there's the stalemate called.
I don't know. I would have called that 10 seconds ago.
49 seconds remaining in the second period. Both mats finally going, 103 pounds. Mike Zeckman over on mat number 1. He's down by 5. He's losing 5-0 with 1 minute 15 seconds remaining in that match.
Well, you know, one thing, as we mentioned earlier, regardless of what happens tonight, all 4 wrestlers that are out there right now will wrestle Friday night. The loser here tonight will be in the wrestle back round, and the best he can do is wrestle back to 3rd place. The winner here tonight still has a shot at that gold medal for the state championship.
14 seconds remaining in Van Brill's second period. He's still down 5-0. We're still on our feet. No control yet.
He's in trouble now, Nick.
4 seconds. 1. There'll be no takedown. Let's go over to mat number 1 where Steve Anuszewski's been watching closely. Mike Zeckman, he's down by 5, Steve. 41
down by
seconds
5
remaining.
here in the third period. They're on their feet. Zeckman with only 38 seconds to go needs a big move here, and he hasn't been able to muster much against Taylor. Taylor in on the dump again. Dumps Zeckman right to
He
his
has
back.
Zeckman in trouble, and that's it. Steve, 29 seconds remaining in the match. And Aaron Taylor.
5:31. Aaron Taylor wins by a fall and advances to the state quarterfinals.
So Zeckman bows out early, but as John Vogeding said, he'll be wrestling in Atlantic City the first round on Friday night. Let's go to mat number 2, where John, it's still 5-0, Bayer of Lenape.
And Bayer looks very, very strong at this point, Nick. He's got a 5-0 lead, 1 minute and 30 counting is running now. Van Brill needs to get off the bottom, and he hasn't been able to make a move yet.
And this is where Baier's been tough. He was able to get 3 points near fall on Van Brill earlier. He had that tight waist
in the first
near arm elevator.
Yep. And he took a neutral position in the second period. Neither wrestler could get the takedown, so the 5-0 score carried over from the first period. We're now 1 minute to go in the match, and Brad Bauer looks very, very strong at this point.
Well, Zekman really can't be disappointed on what he's done thus far. I mean, he still is advancing. He may be advancing in the loser's bracket, but he still has a guaranteed one more match this year.
Absolutely.
Unless, of course, you lose the weight. You lose the match at the weight scale, and then you don't continue.
Well, this time of the year,
which is not unusual.
This time of the year, a lot of wrestlers that get to those HEWs, they had enough wrestling.
And Van Brill gets an escape and a takedown, and he's working on a near side cradle. He's only down by 2 points. It's 5-3. 20 seconds remaining.
He's got to turn him, and he's in trouble here. He's off balance.
14 seconds. Bauer coming out, reversing the cradle. He'll get reversed with 8 seconds remaining left in the match.
It's all over.
And Brad Bauer from Lenape wins the match. 10-3. He'll move on into the winner's bracket in Atlantic City.
And Region 7 dominated that weight class, Nick.
John, you're going to be tallying that for the evening, probably?
Yep.
We're going to go to mat number 1, where Joe LaMaffa of Highland, he's going up against Jerry Boland of Camden Catholic. And it's, Steve, give us a score on this.
2-0 for Joe LaMaffa, Nick. Battle of two seniors here. Jerry Boland, who wrestled last year in California, and Joe LaMaffa, who comes here for the first time as a regional champion. Region runner-up as a sophomore and a junior. And he has a 2-0 lead with 38 seconds to go here in the first period.
Just taking a look over at mat number 2, we're waiting for the wrestlers to come on, but it looks like it's going to be James Butera of Hamilton West and Dennis Lamond of Egg Harbor Township. So that's what will be going on as this match is proceeding. So it'll be kind of confusing. You'll hear screams. It'll be like gymnastics. You'll hear screams on one side, but it really is the results of something on the other side. I feel like an air traffic controller up here. I've got 2 mats. We're about 50 to 75 feet away from the gymnasium floor. I have Steve Anuszewski working over here with no headset. Difficult time hearing, but doing a great job.
Well, we're hanging in there, Nick, and right now Joe LaMaffa with that 2-0 lead in the first period. But here comes Boland with the reversal.
LaMaffa getting the escape with about 9 seconds remaining.
Looks like it's going to be 3-2 at the end of one period. And Nick, it really didn't surprise me at 103. You and John were talking earlier about the fact that Region 7 did real well. Region 8 was pretty young at 103, and Region 7 with Aaron Taylor and Brad Bauer being a senior, reaching the state quarterfinals. That was not a surprise to me.
No, and Taylor, a sophomore with a lot of experience in a good Camden Catholic program this year, against the 2 freshmen from Region 8. Zekman's a freshman, Van Brill's a freshman. They'll be heard from in the next 3 years. But you're absolutely right. The number 1 and number 2 finishers in Region 7 were the better wrestlers.
Nice switch by Jerry Boland for a nice reversal there to start the second period.
This match is really shaping up to be maybe one of the premier matches of the evening, even though we're only at 112 pounds.
Well, what you have is 2 seniors who really, at the beginning of the year, felt they had a legitimate shot for a state title, and somebody's going to go down right here. So here's a situation where Joe LaMaffa, he's been here before, Jerry Boland's been here before. This should be a real war. Escape by LaMaffa, 4-3 match early in the second period. Joe LaMaffa has a 96-6 career mark. And this is a big match for him, too, if he wants to get to 100 wins.
4 matches away from doing that. And see, if I count the brackets right, you need to win 4 times in a state tournament. So he could get his 100th win in the state finals if he's successful.
Right, or in the wrestlebacks. But
that's right.
This is a huge match.
1:23 remaining in the second period. Looks like it's 4-4. 4-4
match. Nice takedown by Jerry Boland. In control halfway through the second period.
You know, I look at Camden Catholic wrestlers, and it just looks like Paul VI wrestlers out there. It's the same wrestling style, probably attributed to the head coach.
Without a doubt. Gary Papa always was a leg wrestler himself. Nice job there by LaMaffa getting one and then trying for a lateral drop right on the line. But it's a 6-5 match with 55 seconds to go here in the second period. But as you said, Nick, it's a definite Camden Catholic style is to be a leg wrestler. Good shot by Jerry Boland.
Could be potentially dangerous.
Called potentially dangerous by the referee Tom Reynolds. He's being assisted by Roy Fenimore in this bout.
41 seconds remaining in the second period. 6-5. Boland.
There's a warning against Joe LaMaffa.
Yep, LaMaffa's going to be hit for stalling.
Just a warning, Nick.
Ooh, nice snap down, spin behind. He's got the double leg. Excuse me, got the takedown with 30 seconds
8-5 for Jerry Boland.
You know, Boland just looks so quick right now.
Did a great job there getting that too. And he's in control right now, 8-5. LaMaffa needs to score here in the last 24 seconds of the second period.
LaMaffa 31-0. Down by 3. Oh, nice tight waist. Looks like a little bear hug and he hips into him. Looks like he's going to get 2 points near fall.
And a quick 2 points. A very quick 2 points for Jerry Boland to take a 10-5 lead.
Now, Steve, if that move was initiated by LaMaffa,
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter because he stuck him there and he got the 2-point near fall.
If he had a 2 count, and that's the question, did he have the 2 count? I don't think that the Highland coaches felt that he had the 2 count. Obviously, the Paul VI coaches agreed with it. Excuse me, the Camden Catholic coaches agreed with it. I see Gary Papin in the corner, and I want to say Paul VI.
Well, either way, Boland takes a 10-5 lead going into the third period.
I think this would rank as an upset, even though Boland is quite an experienced and seasoned wrestler. He's only lost twice all year to James Butera 4-2 in the region finals from Hamilton West, and to Com Casino, who is still alive at 119 pounds. They're his 2 losses, Joe LaMaffa being undefeated. 2
quality losses. I mean, those losses probably could have went either way.
That's true.
Well, we have a stall warning called against Boland. He's on top, so the match will be stopped momentarily.
Interesting call. I think that Boland was on the ankle for a long time, but he did work up, and that's when he got hit for stalling.
Stalling has puzzled me more than once.
Oh, LaMaffa's going to be... He's going to get the escape, or he's just going top? Okay.
No escape.
I saw Reynolds hold his hand up.
I think he pointed back to the center.
Okay, good. Because I was going to say, you know, the refereeing has been tough tonight, but boy, that was blatant.
Yeah, there were some calls tonight that in that first round that we felt were a little questionable. Some a lot questionable.
1:36 remaining in this match. 11-5. Boland of Camden Catholic.
Boland went for the cradle. LaMaffa got the escape. Still a lot of time left, but LaMaffa needs a takedown badly.
A little injury timeout. You know what? That's intentional.
Unbelievable.
I don't know if he heard him come in. And now you know what? That slammed him right down on Boland's shoulder. He's going to go over to Roy Fenimore and get some consultation here. I thought Boland was pulling away because he was injured. And I don't think LaMaffa heard the whistle because he charged right into him and went after him, slammed him on the mat.
I don't think there was a whistle, Nick.
No, there was. It's potentially dangerous. 1 point's going to be on the board. Who's wearing a green ankle?
1 point for Green. That's a point for Jerry Bolin.
You know what happened? See, I did not hear. I saw Reynolds make the motion that there was a timeout, a break. I don't think LaMaffa heard the whistle because he came right back in, picked him up, and slammed him down. But you know what, though? Take it one step further. It didn't matter if there was a whistle or not. He still brought him down to the mat extremely hard.
Right.
Even if there wasn't a whistle, you got to bring him back
You're
slowly.
responsible for his safe return. If you take a man off the mat, you are truly responsible for his safe return. The question is,
well, I'll have to give Bolin a lot of credit if he's able to continue, because LaMaffa did a real nice job picking him up and slamming him to the mat.
the score is 12-6 at this point, Nick. Jerry Bolin leading 12-6.
He's psyched. He points up to the score clock. He acknowledges 1:16 remaining in the third period. He acknowledges that he is leading by 6. Boy, you got to give a lot of credit to Bolin, because that was a vicious slam. It may not have been intentional, heat of the moment type of action, but he's going to continue.
Well, you get on this level, everything is very intense, and you have someone who the capability of a Joe LaMaffa, and usually you don't see slams when both wrestlers are going hard. But in that case, Bolin relaxed a little bit, and LaMaffa, going as hard as he could, put him right down on his head.
Yeah.
Intentional or unintentional, he in fact did put him down on his head.
Bolin's is a little wet and slippery, can't get a grip on him.
Well, I think Jerry Bolin's just taking it to Joe LaMaffa, and he's kind of frustrated at this point, Nick.
He's down by 6. He hasn't really been able to wrestle the Joe LaMaffa match.
I don't think there's any question at this point that Joe LaMaffa needs a big move. He's down 12-6, 50 seconds to go in the bout.
Oh, and this match is still on our feet. Let's go to John. And John, you only have 16 seconds remaining in that weight class on mat number 2.
Right.
Give us a recap if you can.
And Dennis Lamont of Egg Harbor Township just gave up an escape to make it 10-7. And he's beating James Gutierrez of Hamilton West, who won the Region 7 championship. And he's going to win it. He's going to win it 12-6. Egg Harbor Township, second place from Region 8, beats the Region 7 champion.
And we're back at mat number 1, where it's 13
Jerry
seconds
Bolin
remaining.
in on a single leg, Nick, with 10 seconds to go. All he has to do is hang on here for a 12-6 victory over Joe LaMaffa, an undefeated Highland wrestler. And the crowd is going crazy here at Cherry Hill High School.
They're on their feet. And that'll end it. Joe LaMaffa loses his first match of the year to Jerry Bolin of Camden Catholic, 12-6. Let's take a quick break from Cherry Hill East, and we'll be back right after this. And we're at 119 pounds. Mat number 2, Greg Bauer of Lenape, a junior, 26-2, going up against Tom Casino of Overbrook, a senior, 26-2.
Okay, Greg Bauer of Lenape is a brother of Brad Bauer, who advanced at the 103-pound weight class. Greg has lost only this year to Mark Jones of Blair Academy, 5-3, and he also lost to Joe LaMaffa, who we just saw lose a second ago, and he lost to him 4-3. Casino, of course, we saw in the Region 8 finals, a senior from Overbrook, 26-2, lost to Seneca Cooper of Paulsburn in a dual meet, avenged that in the Region 8 tournament, and then he lost to Bob Hansen of Buna in the finals of Region 8. Right now, no score.
On mat number 1, we have Bob Hansen of Buna and Dave Sterling of Absegami, 2 Region 8 wrestlers. 1 minute 30 seconds remaining in that first period, and it's scoreless. .56 seconds remaining in the first period of the Bauer Casino match, scoreless.
Tommy Casino did a nice job down in the Region 8 tournament, Nick, and like I said, only has the 2 losses this year. And he's a tough customer. He's been around. He's a senior. Greg Bauer, a junior.
And this is Super Regions 7 and 8. And John, 1 and 2 is wrestling at Wallkill Valley. 3 and 4 is wrestling in Union. 5 and 6 is at Red Bank. And then the wrestlers all come down to Atlantic City
on Friday night. We're 7 and 8 right here. In a new format this year, the seating meeting takes place tomorrow. A lot of people called up the Courier Post Monday's edition looking for the seating of the state tournament, and we should have clued them ahead of time. We did mention it a couple weeks ago in the notebook, the wrestling notebook, that there would not be seatings in Monday's paper, that they are wrestling the super regions, so-called super regions around the state, the first 2 rounds of the state tournament, and then they're going to Robbinsville tomorrow, and they'll be seating tomorrow, which is a pretty good idea because it gives you a better idea who you should separate in the brackets.
Yeah, I mean, my only problem with the whole super region concept is that Region 7 and 8 end up knocking each other out early on, possibly, even though they're wrestlebacks.
Well,
because some region 7 and 8 wrestlers probably would be able to knock off some of the North Jersey kids.
Well, and vice versa, they have the same problems in their regions. Region 1 wrestlers will knock off Region 1 wrestlers and so forth. It's not a foolproof method, and obviously you got a Sam Lair and Sam meeting tonight. One a returning state champion, one who'd love to be a state champion, and one of them's not going to be a state champion.
And the other thing is they both can't be in the finals, which even if they're the 2 best wrestlers in the weight class, they can't make it to the finals, John.
Right.
Well, Bauer and Casino are tied. Let's go to mat number 1, where we have Bob Hansen of Buena and Dave Sterling of Absegami tied.
Scoreless first period, Nick, and Hansen will start the second period in the defensive position.
Now, Steve, even though they are tied, it looks like Hansen's going to get away. I think this is a minor shocker right now because Sterling was 3rd in this weight class in Region 8.
Well, Sterling's a pretty good wrestler on his feet. If Hansen gets rolling in typical Bobby Hansen fashion, you could see some points rolled up here in the second period.
And a potentially dangerous called. 1:29 remaining in the second period. Scoreless. I don't know if I've ever seen Bob Hansen scoreless in the first period. And
well, last year in this round, he lost to Justin Hurst of Lenape. Justin Hurst beat him in the semifinals of the States as a freshman, and in this round here last year. And Bobby Hansen only has 3 high school losses. There's an escape for Hansen.
Hansen's record is 95 and 3.
What a gaudy high school record that is, 95 and 3.
And how many of those 3 losses are to Hurst?
2.
It's amazing, isn't it?
2 losses to Justin Hurst. And you were mentioning earlier about the Paul Marina calls us the Civil War. We're killing our own here.
Yeah, the Civil War.
All the South Jersey 7 and 8 are killing their own, and sure, it is a shame, but this is the format that the state decided to go to 3 years ago.
And John had mentioned also that's exactly what's happening up at the other regions also. They're probably, complaining about the same thing, that they're beating their own wrestlers that possibly could go on and knock off a few of the other regions. 45 seconds remaining in the second period.
Hansen with a nice outside single, picking up the 2-point takedown, and he's tough with this far cross-face cradle. And I think he's got it locked up.
He's leading 3-0, 30 seconds remaining in the second period.
Oh my.
And here's the cross-face cradle.
Fenimore signaling the 3 near fall, and Bobby Hansen very quickly takes control of what was a 1-0 bout. 6-0 now for Bobby Hansen. I think, Nick, that's the kind of kid that Bobby Hansen is. Your real state caliber, state place winner caliber kids. They're wrestling good competition here, but when they get their opening, they take advantage of it, get their points, and move on to the next round.
Yeah, there's no team scoring, so it doesn't matter if you pin your person, doesn't matter if you tech fall them. The whole idea is you only have to win by 1.
Right. And if this were in a dual meet situation, this might be the feature match of the dual meet between 2 teams like this when you have these 2 quality kids. However, when you get on this level, All these matches are that tough. You see Hansen just take advantage of a little opening by Sterling, picking up the 2 and 3, and here it's 6-0, Sterling on the bottom.
Just taking a look over at mat number 2, John. It's now 3-2, 45 seconds remaining. Casino leading that match.
Yes, Casino got reversed in the second period. He came back with an escape with a minute to go, and then 8 seconds later he got a takedown, so he has a 3-2 lead.
We're back at mat number 1, 140 remaining in the third period. And as Steve has mentioned, Bob Hansen now in total control. He's leading 6-0.
It's interesting down on mat number 2 that you have Bauer from Lenape, the younger but larger brother of Brad Bauer, who advanced to the state quarterfinals earlier at 103 pounds.
You saw a reversal by Sterling, and then Hansen reverses him right back. Now 8-2, 109
8-2
remaining.
lead. 1:09 to go here in the third period. Dave Sterling will advance to the state tournament where he was 1 match from placing last year. Bobby Hansen also did not place last year. He was 3rd as a freshman at 103 pounds. Last year was a regional champ at 112. 3 years in a row, Bobby Hansen entered the Region 8 championships undefeated. In 3 years, he left with championships. I don't think that's ever been done in South Jersey before.
Undefeated in Region 8 championships, not bad.
And undefeated in dual meets.
There's the cross-face cradle by Hansen. It gets a little sloppy. (8-2), 42 seconds remaining in the third period.
Bobby Hansen still leading by an 8-2 score.
Mat number 1, Casino of Overbrook, still leading 3-2.
3-2 entering the third period, and Casino's on the bottom.
Taking an injury
Timeout here on mat number 1 for Dave Sterling.
See head coach Doug Castellari, Una. And we're back on mat 2 where we see Casino. He's on the bottom.
All right, watch this next start, Nick. If this guy doesn't quick start, he's one of the fastest starters I've seen in South Jersey. It cost him in the match when he wrestled Cooper of Paulsboro in the dual meet because he got hit for like 5 cautions. Chris Hunter, the official. Bob Ely is the assistant referee in that match. Bauer on top, leading 3-2. So far through the first 4 bouts, 3 Region 7 wrestlers advance in the winner's bracket and 1 from Region 8.
130 remaining in this 119-pound weight class.
We had a caution down there in that match. Do you believe that?
And there we see Bob Hansen of Buna getting his hand raised. He will move on in the winner's bracket at 119 pounds.
Minute and 25 to go. The clock is running. Bauer is losing, riding out Casino. He's got to turn him, or he's got to cut him loose and take him down.
And as that match continues, now wrestling on mat 1 is Justin Hurst of Lenape going up against Octavio Liriano of Buna.
Nick, I think this is pretty poor planning, to be honest with you. You're in the state tournament. You only have 2 mats, yet you have 2 Lenape wrestlers out there. They could have put the other 125-pound match on this mat to keep the Lenape head coach with having only 1 wrestler on the mat. I think that's pretty poor planning.
Well, we've seen in district competition and region competitions, that's exactly what would happen. you would always see if there was many wrestlers back to back that head coach would stay in that corner. The mat director would just switch mats and flip-flop them on you.
Which is something that's not really that hard to do on this level. It's real tough in the district level because sometimes you have one team that has 13 wrestlers alive or 11 wrestlers alive or two teams that have a lot of wrestlers, but on this level you should be able to do it.
Of course, Hansen just got them wrestling on that mat, so Buna got the advantage of having two in a row.
Well, Castellari may know someone here at Cherry Hill. He's able to get the job done. He's not moving. Let's go back to mat number 1 where we take an injury timeout on mat number 2, and Hurst of Lenape leading 2-0, 1:03 remaining in the first period.
Justin Hurst with a quick takedown, Nick, and this is where Justin Hurst is really, really tough on the offensive position.
Justin Hurst, 111-18 career record.
Quite a career, Nick. Was in the state finals as a sophomore.
Last year's champion at this weight class, state champion that is, was Mike Sandelier of Washington Township, and we saw him earlier win the first round, and coming up in tonight's competition, he's going up against Mark Som of Glassboro, defending state champion, having to fight his way back.
Should be an interesting match between two quality wrestlers, two neighboring towns, and they've never met in high school competition, but they're going to meet in about 20 minutes. So.
Let's go back to mat number 2, where it's 55 seconds remaining, and Bauer leading 4-2?
No, he's losing 4-2.
Okay,
Casino escaped in this period and has taken a 4-2 lead, 45 seconds to go. Bauer, the Region 7 champion. Casino, who was pinned in the Region 8 finals by Bobby Hansen. Senior Casino, junior Bauer. 33 seconds to go as they go out of bounds.
Tom Casino 30 seconds away from moving on to the winner's bracket. 20 seconds remaining. Casino still leading 4-2.
Now it's going to take a miracle for Bauer, Nick.
Ten seconds. We go out of bounds. 8 seconds remaining in the third period. Tom Casino of Overbrook looking to raise his record to 27-2. The match will be momentarily stopped.
Stall call, stall warning with 4 seconds to go, Nick.
And that'll end the match. Tom Casino of Overbrook will advance with a 4-2 win over Region 7 champion Greg Bauer of Lenape. And we'll watch Tom Casino get his hand raised. He'll move on. He'll be in a winner's bracket. Let's take a quick break from Cherry Hill. We'll be back right after this. Eyes are on mat number 2 as Paulsboro's Pete DePaul, a senior, 27-3, going up against Tony Rodriguez, a senior, 29-2, and Steve Anuszewski, a rematch of the semifinals of Region 8 that only lasted 50 seconds.
Only 50 seconds. We got Pete DePaul, got his patented headlock, and then switched in that into a cradle, and it was a death grip cradle. Rodriguez out for a lot of revenge here, Nick. His only loss prior to that was to Bobby Hansen, who we just saw win a minute ago from Buna. The other loss to DePaul. DePaul lost this year to Nick Angin at Brick Memorial up in the Caldwell tournament. Uh-oh.
This is the move that DePaul pinned Rodriguez on.
Oh, brother.
In the semifinals and almost returned the favor.
Oh, very close. DePaul's other losses to Tom Warnicki of New Providence up in the Group 1 state tournament. And he lost to Junior Cotto of Oakcrest up a weight in that loss that Oakcrest handed Paulsboro this year. Cotto taking advantage of a weakness of DePaul in that match, getting 6 takedowns.
Well, 1:10 remaining in the first period. We have passed the 50-second mark.
And nobody has a takedown yet. Well, you know, interestingly, we saw Rodriguez wrestle Ernie Maiden last year in a dual meet, and it was a close affair. I think everybody expected a close affair in the regional meet, and DePaul, if he gets his grips on you, it can be a deathlock.
Now DePaul getting and sharing most valuable wrestler for the Region 8 tournament.
With Zekman of Woodbury, we kind of signed off about 15 seconds too early at Region 8. Just as they were making the announcement, we were saying goodbye and see you at the Super Regionals, and then they announced that DePaul had gained a share of that Outstanding Wrestler Award. And of course, the interesting thing was that Nick, that he had told reporters afterwards that he was dedicating that match and the rest of the season to John Caro, who was a former teammate and was in the service, and unfortunately got involved in an automobile accident heading back to his base last year, back to his Marine base, and unfortunately was killed in that accident.
Now both wrestlers were called stalling there, and I think 1 point's going to be awarded because Rodriguez may be called for stalling again.
That's unbelievable.
Steve, there was 2 double stalls, and then that was a stall warning. You were watching.
Oh boy, was that ever close?
No takedown out of bounds. Yeah, so 1 point on the clock for Pete DePaul because of the stall warning against Rodriguez. 12 seconds remaining in the first period.
Of course, there was a perfect example of how good those guys are upper body. Here it comes again. But again, they're out of bounds. They're out of bounds. You must have complete control with your feet being in bounds. And that was a good call by referee Bobby Owen.
Now, if Rodriguez was able to hold his hips back, hold his hips under, he may have been able to get his feet in. But DePaul was able to take him out with him.
Well, they went right out of bounds, and you got a 1-0 lead after 1 period. Pete DePaul leading.
125-pound weight class.
That was the fastest second stall I've ever seen in high school wrestling.
I tell you, John, it's going to be a long night between you two guys criticizing the officials. I just hope no one throws anything at me.
I just made a comment that it was the fastest second stall I've seen in high school wrestling.
All my officials friends, it's constructive criticism as we see Rodriguez give the intentional escape to DePaul.
Constructive criticism. But that's awfully polite.
Oh, what a nice duck under by Rodriguez. Hands were down the mat, so he got the 2-point takedown.
It's a heck of a high crotch there.
Yes, it was.
Now 2-2, 1:37 remaining in the second period.
I mean, I never would have suspected, Nick, after the quarterfinal match in the Region 8 tournament, DePaul was in a real battle, and he come off, and he looked like his shoulder was killing him, as you see another intentional escape.
Rodriguez obviously feeling very confident on his feet.
What do you think of this strategy, John?
Well, I think it's perfect. If I'm Oakcrest and know that Junior Cotto took DePaul down 6 times, I'd let him go too. He'd have to prove to me as a coach that he can defend the takedown. That's been his weakness all year. He was more of a one-dimensional wrestler earlier in the year when he depended solely on the headlock takedown.
The only thing that I say is every time he let Pete DePaul up, he can hit a headlock.
Well, that's true.
That's one of the fears.
And I think that Rodriguez, as well as anybody that's ever going to wrestle Pete this year, knows what's coming. And if they can defend against it and take advantage of a weakness on the feet, they can beat Pete.
And we have to remember that DePaul also has been called for stalling. Good lateral drop by Rodriguez, but DePaul was able to get to his base. It was like a lateral drop, like a duck under, and Rodriguez gets the takedown.
Well, and this is where Pete has to push up. He has to start moving. But that's 2 takedowns to none. That's why Rodriguez has a 4-3 lead.
25 seconds remaining in the second period.
I don't think you'll see Rodriguez get caught in an upper body move in this match. He was the number 1 seed in Region 8. DePaul was the number 4 seed, and he may have not had the respect for DePaul because Junior Cotto, his teammate, had beaten DePaul so one-sidedly in a dual meet.
15 seconds. DePaul trying to get a neutral, tries to get the escape. He breaks away, gets the escape.
And that was an earned escape that time, whereas Rodriguez had given him 2 escapes earlier. Here comes that headlock attempt. If he keeps his hips in.
3 seconds, 2 seconds. And that'll end the second period where we're tied 4-4.
Different match from the first time, but still a good match.
The conclusion on mat number 1, Justin Hurst of Lenape won that match.
Yeah, that was a situation where you want to...
was it 12-1, 11-1? I missed the final score.
Yeah, it was an 11-1 score, and Hurst advances to the quarterfinals.
We're at a difficult situation here. You can only see the left-hand scoreboard. But Justin Hurst was in total control of that match, and he'll go on into the winner's bracket. Let's go to mat number 1, where could be another premier matchup. We have Mike Sandelier.
And Mark Somm. Somm in a single leg. Looks like we might have a stalemate situation coming up here, Nick. Mark Sandelier going for the spladle.
Mark Somm, senior, 27-0 from Glassboro. Mike Sandelier, the defending state champion at the previous weight class, under 25 pounds from Washington Township. He's a senior, is 20-1, and his only loss coming to Greg Harvey of Paulsboro in the semifinals at Apsagami last week.
Somm is such a powerful wrestler. Sandelier relies a lot on quickness, a lot of good technique. Somm, very powerful and good with the legs. Cross body rides, double grapevines, does a great job working on top. Sandelier, very slick on his feet. Last year was on a roll all through the state tournament. This year he ran into somebody in the semifinals pretty darn tough in Greg Harvey. But he's alive right now and still has a chance to defend the state title.
Going to mat number 2, we saw momentarily Rodriguez, lateral drop, Pete DePaul getting the takedown. And then DePaul getting up, getting an escape. It's 6-5.
All right, we had a reversal there.
Okay,
From the reversal, we had an escape.
So it was a reversal. It's now 6-5.
Right. Rodriguez is leading. He reversed right off the bat early in that second period, and then tried to throw DePaul into his back. And DePaul got the escape. Now there's a takedown for Rodriguez. That's the third takedown. 8-5. He has the lead.
132 remaining in that weight class. In that match.
Just a quick update on mat number 1, gentlemen. Looks like it's 2-2 at this point.
And Sandelier coming out got a poke in the eye. So let's go back to mat number 2, where John Vogeding is watching closely the Rodriguez-DePaul match.
Still 8-5 Rodriguez, 1:25, and the clock is running, and DePaul has to make hay here pretty soon. There's the escape, intentional. 8-6 the score. DePaul has no choice but to try and get a takedown. And as long as he tries it that way, he's in deep trouble.
And DePaul injured on that move.
Upper body throws are good if you execute them the proper way. If you fall on your back and pull the guy right on top of you, it doesn't help.
So both mats are down for injury timeout, and you talk about throws and clinics. The South Jersey Wrestling Clinic this year is going to be held at Paulsboro High School, July 11th to the 15th.
Great clinicians at that clinic.
Looks like there's going to be some outstanding, as you said, Steve, some great clinicians there. Paul Marina, Steve Viles, Russ Menudo. Let's go back to mat number 1.
Sandelier and Somm on mat 1. 2-1 lead for Mike Sandelier here. In on a single leg.
I was talking to John earlier on. Mark Somm, if I was Sandelier, matches up much better than the Greg Harvey, because Greg Harvey is a very physical wrestler. He takes it to you, wrestles maybe 5.5 minutes, wears you out a little bit. And Sandelier has been injured. Mark Somm, a very technical wrestler. He works you hard. But I think if you stay close with Sandelier, there could be a problem.
Right, and in this match, he's got a 4-1 lead over Mark Somm.
Well, let's go to mat number 2 real quick. There's 43 seconds left.
Tony Rodriguez took Pete DePaul down again. That was a 4th takedown the match. Started to stack him that time, stopped for being potentially dangerous. But with 43 seconds left to go, Rodriguez is going to set him free again. makes it 10-7. DePaul has got to go with a throw now, Nick. He doesn't have any choice.
He's got the headlock. Rodriguez is still staying behind.
And you notice where Rodriguez is. He knows where that out of bounds line is. He's not going to let DePaul get in the middle of the mat.
Just smart wrestling by Rodriguez. He felt it coming, and now he's starting over. 22 seconds. Rodriguez leading 10-7. And DePaul tries a headlock. It slips. Rodriguez takes him down.
And
that'll be the match.
And that's going to be 5 takedowns in that match by Rodriguez. Now he gets a cradle with 5 seconds to go.
3 seconds, 2, 1, and that's the match. And it'll be 15-7. Rodriguez will advance to the winner's bracket. Let's take a break and come back to Cherry Hill East right after this. And there you see, Mike Sandelier gets his hand raised after pinning Mark Salmon. Steve, it happened very quickly.
Yeah, what happened there, Salmon taking a commanding 6-1 lead, fired a half Nelson, had Salmon trouble. Sandelier pins Salmon, advances to the state quarterfinals, and probably will be the #1 seed in the States.
Steve, Mark Salmon was wrestling an outstanding match, and in this sport of wrestling, you got to wrestle at all times. And Sandelier very quickly turned around and pinned Mark Salmon. Mark Salmon really didn't know what happened. After he was pinned, the match was over. He looked to his coach and said, "Hey, what happened?"
You know, one of those things that on this level, that's going to happen, Nick. You get 2 people out there of that quality, 1 mistake, and it's over.
Let's go to mat number 2. And on mat number 2, John.
You have the wrestler who upset Greg Harvey, or beat Greg Harvey in the first round tonight, Andrew Jensen of Cherry Hill East in the red singlet. Luigi Machilla from Paul VI, brother of the heavyweight from Paul VI. Sophomore, 21-2 record. Jensen, a senior, with a 24-5 record, going for a takedown. Still no score.
With this, Jensen wrestles all 6 minutes.
Yes, he does. And even more than that in the first round when Harvey went overtime.
So 43 seconds remaining in this 130-pound weight class. Andrew Jensen of Cherry Hill East, a senior, 24-5, going up against Luigi Machilla, just a sophomore, 21-2. Just taking a look over at mat number 1, looks like it's Seth Rementor of Lower Cape May, Steve, and John Bayer of Burlington City. Is that going to be right on mat number 1?
That's right.
Okay.
No score in the match, 130-pound match between Machilla and Jensen. 30 out of bounds.
There's going to be a stall warning against Jensen, John?
Yes.
Boy, Machilla will get the 1 point.
Yeah, double stall warning earlier and stalling against Jensen that time, so it's 1 point for the Paul VI sophomore.
And that'll end the first period.
1-0 in favor of Machilla, the Region 7 130-pound champion with a 21-2 record. He's a sophomore. Lost to Donato of Highland 4-2, and he lost to Sandelier by tech fall.
Remaining. 130 pounds. And on mat number 1, it would be 135 pounds. Boy, what a nice crowd here tonight in Cherry Hill East. What is the capacity here? Because whatever it is, it's full and then some.
Sure is. I'm just guessing that there's got to be over 3,000 people in here tonight, Nick. We have lower stands, we have upper stands, we have end stands, we have standing room.
I don't see anyone on the rafters yet, but I guess you can get some people up there.
I saw a caution call on that one by referee John Giovanetti. Then I saw him wave his hands off. I'm not really sure if there's a caution or not down there. He talked with Bob Ely, who's the assistant official on that mat.
You sure he wasn't waving up to you?
I'm not sure. If he did, oh, we got a stall, another stall on Cherry Hill East, and that's another point for pole 6.
Now, is that because Jensen is just letting him stand up? He's not breaking him down, not making an attempt to turn him over?
Well, that's what they say. When the wrestler stands up, top man who's riding has to make a legitimate attempt to take him to the mat, and if he lets him walk around the mat without breaking him down, he's going to be called for stalling. That's my contention is if the bottom man's fighting like a little rascal trying to get away, I'm not going to let him go. I got to follow him till I can trip him up. Yeah, there's standing room in here, Nick. There's kneeling room. They're kneeling. They're standing.
No back points.
Now the coaches at Cherry Hill East, so I'd be a little bit careful. They're dancing like marionettes in the corner, and they're only going to cost their wrestler some added displeasure if they keep it up. They better sit down and coach. Let the officials do the officiating.
Let's go to mat number 1 where Bauer of Burlington City looks like he has Seth Rementer in trouble.
That's John Bear, the state runner-up last year at 130, Nick, and he has Seth Rementer in trouble. Great throw there by Bear.
56 seconds remaining in the second period.
53 seconds to go, and Rementer is in big trouble.
It might be over.
That was a nice job by Rementer. If Bear would have been able, I guess, to sit through, look up, he would have put his shoulders down, but Rementer able to, I guess, get parallel with him and roll through.
Yeah, that's a commanding lead right now for John Bear, 11-4 here in the second period, 42 seconds remaining. And somebody needs him injury time. Maybe it's blood, Nick.
Maybe it's the heat in this place.
Well, if it's blood, we have the mat doctor, John Vogeding. He's on mat number 2, 52 seconds remaining in the second period.
2-0 lead. Now goes the 3-0 lead with an escape by Burzichelli of Paul VI. 2 penalty points for stalling and an escape. 3-0 lead against Andrew Jensen, Cherry Hill East Senior.
Boy, I mean, I'm still reflecting back on that Chandelier and Som match.
There's the takedown.
Jensen gets the takedown with 22 seconds remaining in the second period.
Yeah, I never saw that, Nick, so I turned around and looked and saw the mat being slapped and Som getting up and questioning how he could be pinned.
You know, Steve was watching that pretty closely, and it was a quiet 6-1. I mean, it didn't look like a major mugging, but Som was leading 6-1. Is that correct?
Chandelier was ahead 6-1.
Okay, Chandelier was, yeah, but it was a quiet.
2 takedowns to an escape in the first period, and then a reversal in the second at 6-1. He's on top and in control. It wasn't a real mugging, but man, that half went in, and Chandelier's a dangerous wrestler. He proved that all last season.
Let's go back to mat 2, 10 seconds remaining.
And 3-2 lead for Paul VI.
And you got to remember, Jensen's been called for stalling for letting his opponent up and not taking him down. Correct, John?
Twice he's been given penalty points. So, I mean, you know, next one is 2 points. The next one after that, you're out. You're disqualified.
Well, if he gives up 2, he'll lose the match.
Well, it's only the second period, so there's another 2 minutes to go.
I guess that would help, right?
Yeah. But, you know, you're right. It's 3-2. Jensen is losing 3-2. And if he gets hit with a stall, it's going to be a 2-pointer, and then the next one is out. Jensen is down. The Cherry Hill East wrestler is on the bottom position. He's losing by a point. He's got to get an escape. Then or a reversal to try and take the lead.
1:40 remaining in the third period.
Back inside for a fresh start. Jensen's got to be careful. He's got to move a little bit out there because if he delays going back in bounds, he can be called for stalling there.
Well, read in the paper this week that Brick Memorial has been named the New Jersey State champions. I don't want both of you to yell at me at one time. There's a little dead silence going on right now.
Well, you know,
what was it? Number 1 in the state, and then Jefferson 2 and Highland 3.
Right.
And I think Paulsboro ended up being 13, if I recall, but I don't know how everyone else did. I may be off a couple.
Nick. Absegami was 10th. Buna was 7th. I believe Haddon Township was 22nd.
And Collings was right behind Paulsboro.
Yeah, Collingswood was 14th.
Yeah.
So not a bad showing for South Jersey this year.
Well, a little puzzling to me how Highland, with the credentials they had this year and the way they clobbered the field in the Group 4 championships upstate, how they kind of
ended up third.
Yeah. But as Steve mentioned, there were a couple voters who weren't there, and something that important. It's you know, all hands should be there and all the discussion should go. And if you get a couple of people missing, it just becomes maybe kind of a tainted number 1. Now, on that match over there, Nick, you just saw that the assistant official called the caution at that point. He saw something illegal by the pole 6 wrestler across the back of the Cherry Elise wrestler, and he flashed the caution.
Now, John, is that what the side official is there for? That's what the assistant,
right? That's what the assistant can do. He can call something that the other official doesn't see.
Now, see, I don't have a problem with that.
All right, now you got a stalling call on Paul VI for not taking his man to the mat. And what I have a problem with is the guy standing up on the bottom. He's moving. If he stood still, then I can say you take him down right away. But if he's still moving and you're following him and you're trying not to let your grip go, and in a certain amount of time get called for stalling, it puzzles me.
Well, is it possible? And I don't know because I don't know the rules to wrestling anymore. Well, if you're on the line and you're not making an attempt to push him out of bounds, I mean, you saw they were stuck on the line.
They were, and the book says...
Is that because maybe he thought he was holding him on the line?
You have to make a legitimate attempt to take him down. If you shove him directly out of bounds, you can be called there. There's a stall warning on the bottom. And 1 point for Paul VI. I don't understand that one either.
John, should that have been a 2-point stall?
Well, it should have. Should have been 2 points. If it was against Jensen, he'd been hit for stalling twice before. Referee signaled one point for stalling.
And that'll be it. For Michelle, Paul VI will advance with a 4-2 win over Andrew Jensen of Cherry Hill East.
Now, which probably should have been 5-2. There it is up on the board now. It's 5-2.
Oh, the Channel 5 analyst and color right on target once again. Well, for the first time this evening, no one's wrestling. No one's on the mat. We'll take a little breather here as we get our composure and take a look at who we are waiting for. And let's take a quick break so that we can find out who the wrestlers are, and we'll come back right after this. And we're at 135 pounds. We're on mat number 2, where Brett Matter of Delrain, just a junior, 20-0, going up against Paul Castellini, a senior, 29-3.
And Castellini, by the way, Nick, moved up in a second position tonight because Derek Graham of Highland, a senior, did not come to wrestle tonight. Reports are he was a little overweight, not much interested in going on any further in the season, so Castellini moved up, which brought Joe D'Amico, the 4th place finisher from Region 8, into the tournament. He got eliminated in the first round, and now you have a caution against Brett Matter, who probably one of the premier juniors in South Jersey, if not the state.
I mentioned that South Jersey Wrestling Clinic that Paulsboro is heading up, and I see that Andrew Matter will be one of the clinicians there, and of course, 2-time National Collegiate Athletic Association champion.
And father of Brett Matter, and yes, quite a wrestler in his day. I believe he was at Upper Darby High School, went on to Penn State, twice won a national championship. 3-time Eastern Intercollegiate Wrestling champion, 2-time national champion, in his days in Upper Darby, he was a 3-time district champ, a 2-time regional champ, a 1-time state runner-up, and a state champion. And it looks like some of his moves have rubbed off onto his son.
And he's still doing clinics. John and I went to a clinic when I was in 9th grade, and he was a clinician fresh off his 2nd national championship at Penn State.
Wow.
About 17 years ago.
I'm going to try to add that up and try to get your age. 15 seconds remaining in the first period, and matter of Delran leading. Stall warning called on Castellini of Buna.
One of the best deep waist or tight waist riders I've seen in a long time in high school.
Which is good for college, but you know, you ride the deep waist and don't do anything with it in high school, and you're going to get for stalling.
Yeah, I guess what you have to do, you have to work some variations off that. Maybe the
waist,
tilt,
right?
tight waist tilt with that deep waist. Well, you know, he used to have a real vicious tight waist. Was it Casper Tortello of Paulsboro? I mean, that thing used to wrap around twice, if I recall, when I was little growing up.
Like a snake.
Casper Tortella and Joe Giovanetti had two of the best deep waists back in the 70s that I can remember.
Steve Anuszewski, you had a pretty good deep waist when you were a youngster.
I'm looking down.
I have a pretty big waist
there right now.
It matters. It matters a technician out there, Nick. Castellini's not a bad wrestler. Castellini comes in with a senior with a 28-3 record. He lost to that Seth Remeter from Lower Cape May, 6-4 in the semifinals of the region. Castellini for that excellent lightweight lineup that Buna had this year, where they won the South Jersey Group 2 championship and advanced to the state Group 2 finals before they lost.
1:15 remaining in the second period, and Brett Matter of Delran leading 2-0.
It's Chris Hunter, the official on mat number 2, who wrestled right here in this high school. In fact, as he was in the lineup that year that Cherry Hill East beat Paulsboro that stopped that winning streak of 96 consecutive meets. A Cherry Hill East graduate and a Paulsboro graduate on the same mat officiating. Chris Hunter, of course, Nick, went on to wrestle a little bit at Rutgers University. Rutgers, by the way, Nick, in case you're not aware of it, will have 3 wrestlers going to the national championships.
Now, I've been kind of caught up in the Rutgers really outstanding basketball program, where they may be like 9-55.
They were terrible this year, weren't they?
That's correct.
Oh. Well, the wrestling team had one of its best years ever, and they had 2 seconds in EIWA championships and a third. That Jason Hawk from Phillipsburg's going to the nationals. Alex Lombardo from Long Branch, and our other wrestler, a fellow by the name of Ferguson, who comes from Tinley, Illinois.
Not bad.
South Jersey has 5 wrestlers that I know of going to the nationals. Pat Lynch was second in the Pac-10. He's going for the 2nd year in a row. The former 2-time state champ from Ocean City. Victor Bernardino won for F&M, won EIWA championship at 158 pounds after going to the nationals at 167 last year. He goes in undefeated to the nationals this year, 158.
You know, and that's a tribute to Vic, because he was injured almost his whole dual meet season, and was able to come back with some arthroscopic surgery, I believe, and go ahead and win his tournament.
Vic's just a gutsy kid, and I saw him. He was home a couple weeks ago, and unfortunately his grandfather had passed away, and he was home, but seemed very positive about his wrestling season, despite all the injuries that he went through, and hadn't lost a match all year, and now wins the Eastern Championship, wins the Easterns, which I think might be the first time that a Paulsboro wrestler ever won the Easterns.
Oh, I'm sure it is. And, of course, Victor was out 4 or 5 weeks without wrestling, doing a lot of treadmill work and riding work. Not the same as getting on the mat. But anyway, he goes to the Nationals at 158 pounds, completely undefeated. Says he aims to get to the finals and whip that Pat Smith from Oklahoma State.
Excellent. Like the attitude. Well, let's go over to mat number 1, where we're at 140 pounds. It's Delsey's Mike Belinsky, senior 24-3, going up against Allentown's Mike Pecci, a senior 21-2.
Yeah, early in the bout, well, excuse me, late in the bout, it's 5-1 right now for Mike Belinsky. Nick?
You know, Belinsky's a tournament wrestler.
Yeah,
he always seems to have a tough dual season, but when it comes time to district, region, and states, he's right up there with the best.
Right, here's a kid who doesn't really look like he has all that much ability. He's got a big heart. He's won 3 District 31 championships. He's been to the States. This is the second year. Last year, he was 1 match away from placing, and this year he'll be at least 1 match away from placing when he reaches the quarterfinals, it seems like. Leading now by a score of, it's still 5-1. He didn't get any back points there.
But he had a nice half. I thought he was going to turn him over. 135 remaining in this match.
He's really tough with this quarter Nelson. This is his move, Nick.
Yeah, we'll go back to mat number 2 where Brett Matter of Delran leading 5-0.
Yeah, just over a minute left in that match, and Matter's putting on a clinic down there. He's just not giving Castellini any room to breathe at all. He's got a takedown, he got a reversal, he got a penalty point for stalling, and he's just dominating the match. He really looks sharp right now.
Well, 45 seconds remaining in this match.
His dad went to the Nationals and was a 2-time national champion. Those are the dreams of any wrestler who goes. A couple more South Jersey wrestlers going. Eric Saunders, who was a state champ at Overbrook, is going. Eric Jamerson, who wrestled in Cherry Hill for Cherry Hill West High School. West or East?
West.
Yeah, Cherry Hill West. He's going again. He was there last year. He's at Boston University. Just won the 142-pound championship this last weekend. And John Koss, everybody remembers the great performance he gave 2 years ago in the state tournament where he could barely walk out the center of the mat and won his 2nd consecutive state championship. He's going as a wild card from West Virginia. Finished 4th in the qualifier, was a number 4 seed, finished number 4. 6 losses this year, all to nationally ranked wrestlers. So John Koss of Collingswood will be at the Nationals. 6-0 is Brett Matter's lead.
Not looking forward to that 8-hour ride down there, but boy, I can't wait to get down there and see some good wrestling.
Oh, I tell you what, be there Thursday morning at 11 a.m., get your seat on the side, and look out there of 8 mats of wonderment.
5 seconds remaining in this match. Brett Matter
decisively the winner.
Will win 5-0 over Bunas, Paul Castellini.
Don't be surprised if Brett Matter takes that top step come Saturday afternoon I almost said Princeton, Atlantic City, Nick.
Let's take a break from Cherry Hill East High School. We'll be back right after this. We're on mat number 2, 145 pounds, and all Region 8 matches.
Oh my!
Andrell Bell of Washington Township, a senior, 25-1, going up against Mark Soul from Millville, a sophomore, 28-3, and Soul gets the takedown.
Watch this one, Nick. This could be a barn burner. We saw a great match with Bale and Colbert in the regional final, a rematch of the District 30 final, but Saul really impressed me in the regions. He's a sophomore, and he is stone tough. Bale, a senior, 25-1. His only losses is Zach Papa of Camden Catholic. Saul's losses, he lost to Scannell of Absegami, 10-5. He lost to DeSimone of Delsey by default, and he lost to Colbert, 10-8. Colbert lost in the finals of Region 8 to Bale, and has been eliminated this evening already. He will not go to the state championships. I'm sorry, yes he will. He wrestles McConnell.
That's right, the first round.
That's right. He did win the first round. He will be going to Atlantic City. He wrestles Tom McConnell of Collingswood.
It's 2-1. Bell able to get the escape.
Oh my! Oh my!
Andrell Bell has Mark Soul in.
Oh, look at that!
Missile.
Oh, brother!
A 2-2 move 2 takedown, then 2 reversal.
Holy cow.
John, no back winch on a headlock, I guess,
Well,
huh?
evidently not there long enough. I don't know. I don't understand.
14 seconds remaining in the first period.
Oh my, look at his strength. Strength against strength.
5 seconds.
An escape.
Escape. Boy, at the end of 2 minutes, we're tied 4-4.
I told you, don't take your eyes away.
Well, that's a great first period, guys.
That was excellent.
Really enjoyed that.
Mark Saul is tough. I mean, he is stone tough. Referee John Giovanetti walking over, talking to the head coach Joe Monteleone of Millville. Monteleone and a Giovanetti.
Well, you better put the mics down on there. I don't think that's legal, is it?
Yeah, here's a situation where the officials should just say, go sit down, let's start wrestling.
Like they're trying to get some clarifications on some score. I guess maybe also looking for whether or not there was any back points or not. But either way, looks like the score may remain the same. Giovanetti now going over to the scorer's table. Looks like he's talking to the Dean Sizemore, scoring official, I guess, on this match. The bookkeeper.
Big Dean. Well, you got a break there. You've seen all your Region 7-8 champions come out here and wrestle tonight. There is a banquet that honors these guys next month in March. This month, March 23rd, 6 o'clock, Degenhardt's Restaurant. Anybody interested in going can get tickets from any high school coach. All the regional champions and all the state champions will be toasted that evening, along with the College Wrestler of the Year.
It's always a great time, John, because you go through a season like this and all the wars, and it's great to see kids getting honored at the end of the year. And that committee does such a great job putting that together.
Breaking bread together. Not like the old days when Nick Burzichelli used to kick somebody's butt and then wouldn't sit down and talk with them afterwards.
Well, I think I only went once because I only won once. But when I was there, I think you had to wrestle for the dinner.
Yeah, it was.
I think winner take all.
Yep.
There was no super regions. That was the super regions back then.
I went to a lot of times, but I paid for my ticket every year.
Survival of the fittest. Another thing coming up that people might be interested in, Sam Evangelista, who was second in the state as a schoolboy wrestler for Paulsboro and coached the team from 1964 until Bob Frederick came in 1970-71 as being inducted into the Gloucester County Sports Hall of Fame. I believe that dinner's on the 22nd of March over at the Almanesson Sunset Beach Ballroom. As you see, a stalling warning given to Adrell Bale of Washington Township.
Well, Sam Evangelista stopped by the table here. He's in tonight's audience.
He and his wife Judith, who could outshout any woman in South Jersey when her husband was coaching at Paulsboro and then at Lenape. Judith had the best set of vocal cords this side of the Mississippi.
50 seconds remaining in the second period, 145 pounds.
Oh, we got a count going. Mark Saul's got a count on a tilt.
He could get reversed, but he maintains control and gets 2-point near fall with 35 seconds remaining in the second period. Looks like it's a three-pointer. Yep, it's a three-pointer.
Yep, and he's controlled Bale this whole period. Bale started on the bottom.
And Bale has been called for something.
Oh, my.
Boy, working this two-on-one tight waist tilt extremely well.
Oh,
he must have an unbelievable grip, John.
Yeah, because this is going to get him 5 points this period.
Talking to Bobby Hogan, the great wrestler from Millville years ago, and an official and a coach, told me that Saul's the quarterback on the football team. As you see a couple more points go up.
So he'll take a 9-4 lead going into the third period. And 5 of those points were from that vicious tight waist tilt.
And you got an injury timeout for Adrell Bale.
Both Mats.
You see Consiglio, the coach of Washington Township, and Ralph Ross Jr., the assistant coach.
Injury time.
Tony Consiglio?
Both
Frank Consiglio.
Looks like a Tony to me.
Frank, it's his second year as the head coach at Washington Township. The old coach's name was Tony.
Hey, you're right.
I can't remember what his last name is.
It can be Consiglio also. We have an injury timeout even on mat number 1. We should at least mention on Bill Candy of Haddonfield, the sophomore, is 27-1, and George Florence of Apsagami, senior, is 29-2. But both of them.
It's an interesting situation there. I know the official real well, John Giovanetti from Paulsboro, and he looks over in one corner and he sees the high-strung Joe Monteleone, and he looks in the other corner and the higher-strung Ralph Ross, and boy, oh boy, that first period it seemed like they might be in his ear the whole time, but it seems like Mark Saul has quieted the coaches.
Yeah, I mean, 5 unanswered points, really.
If you dominate a wrestler like that, you don't have too much to jump up and down about in the corner. And he is impressive. He's going to be forced to be reckoned with the next 2 years in South Jersey.
Well, if I recall, in the semifinals against, was it Colbert, when Saul lost with no time left on the clock, he was taken down?
Right at the buzzer.
Right at the buzzer. So the second and third place finishers in Region 8 closely matched.
Yes. Yeah, that was a, now it wasn't a borderline call. I thought it was a very good call.
No, it was a good call.
But
his hands were down. They were supporting.
Right
parts.
at the buzzer.
We'll take a quick break from Cherry Hill East, and we'll be back right after this.
And we're back. We're on mat number 2, where Mark Saul of Millville taking a commanding 13-4 lead over Adrell Bale of Washington Township.
Almost looks like Adrell Bale has one of those cases of the HEWs, Nick.
John, why don't you reiterate the HEWs?
He's had enough wrestling.
HEWs. From the mat doctor, 21 seconds remaining.
Yeah, when you get this far, there's no guppies or minnows up here. They're nothing but sharks. And that's like a shark after a minnow out there right now. Boy, Mark Saul, what a future he's got. Brother was a good wrestler too, Steve. Mike Saul wrestled.
Mike Saul last year was Region 8 champion. Won on to place in the top 6 in the state.
Reversal by Bale, but a little bit too late.
10 seconds remaining. Five seconds, and that'll be it. Mark Saul of Millville advances to the winner's bracket with a score of 14-6.
My unofficial count in that first round was 17-9 for Region 8.
Well, let's have an official count.
Let's go to mat number 1, where Apsagami's George Florence is going up against Bill Candy of Haddonfield. Candy 27-1 as a sophomore, and Florence 29-2 as a senior.
Florence has a commanding lead here, Nick, with only 17 seconds to go. 7-2 lead in the 140-pound pre-quarter final.
Seconds.
Well, I can see the wrestlers down the other end pacing back and forth. That's going to be a humdinger with Tommy McConnell of Collingswood undefeated against Brian Colbert of Highland.
This should be an interesting match down there. That on mat number 2 between Colbert and McConnell.
Well, 4 seconds away. We'll get a chance to look at it, and that'll be it. For George
and on mat
Florence.
1, that was George Florence of Apsagami advancing to the state quarterfinals with the win over Bill Candy of Haddonfield. 7-2.
So let's go to mat number 2, where we'll have Tom McConnell of Collingswood, a senior, 26-0, undefeated, going up against Brian Colbert of Highland, a senior at 31-3.
You know what's interesting tonight too, watching all these seniors compete in the regions at 7 and 8 seniors. There is an all-star meet coming up next Monday down in Delaware, an annual affair that the South Jersey Wrestling Hall of Fame puts on. And oh brother, we got some lineups here to savor representing South Jersey. See a takedown by Tommy McConnell. Whew, he looks tough. Undefeated.
The 145 champion at this weight class last year was Kevin Farnham of Haddon Township. 145 pounds.
See an escape by Brian Colbert. If he doesn't let the HEWs get to him, Nick, this could be a humdinger right down to the final whistle.
Yeah, I guess there's maybe a philosophy behind this. I mean, you're going to have to go to Atlantic City Friday anyway, so you might as well win.
Hey, listen, Region 8's had a couple third placers win so far. Sandelier, of course, no big shock there, a returning state champion. He was third in the region, and that Mark Saul that just got done wrestling was third in the region.
McConnell in, looked like he did a barrel roll, but Colbert able to keep the Wizard in and face him.
Well, right now, 8 Region 8 wrestlers have won in the second round, and 7 Region 7 wrestlers. Can't get any tighter than that.
We're head and head, and we're at 145 pounds.
Tommy McConnell, of course, part of that Collingswood team this year to finish second to Paulsboro in the Colonial Conference, and second in South Jersey to Buna in the Group 2 championship. Great year by Ron Hamrick, who sits in the corner amidst the rumors flying around that he may not be back next year. We'll see. There's 2.
And 19 seconds remaining in the first period, and McConnell leading 4-1.
On the basis of 2 takedowns.
Speaking of takedowns, you got to look back at 125 pounds where Rodriguez of Oakcrest really had a takedown clinic on the Paulsboro.
Well, 5 takedowns, Nick, and that was the downfall. The last takedown converted into a near fall 3, which made the final score 15-7, and Tony Rodriguez getting a little measure of payback after losing in the Region 8 semifinals. A late escape there makes it 4-2 at the end of one period. McConnell in the lead. McConnell will start the second period on the bottom.
And that match is on mat 2, and over on mat 1 right now looks like it's 152 pounds Oakcrest Jason Brown going up against Washington Township Dan Calhoun.
Good match here. 0-0 at the end of 1, Nick.
So we'll watch that as this 145-pound weight class unfolds.
Potentially dangerous called on mat 2 with Colbert of Highland. Colbert, by the way, the other night when he won his semifinal match in Region 8, that was his 100th career win. Brian Lewis, who we'll see later, got his 126th career win, winning a Region 8 championship, which broke the school record held previously by Joey Melchiori, a 3-time state champion at Highland. Oh my.
John, I don't remember three high school wrestlers on one team having 100 wins before. That's pretty impressive.
Oh, it is impressive. LaMalfa and Colbert and Brian Lewis all finishing up excellent careers at Highland High School this year. Colbert, by the way, an all-South Jersey football player.
It's a real tribute to the team success, too, because they get a lot of matches in that Group 4 tournament every year, and it's enabled Colbert, LaMalfa, and Lewis all to get 100 wins.
Yep. Well, that's the way you're going to do it nowadays. You've got to be in the playoffs, and you've got to go a long way.
You know, and I just think that makes Pat Lynch's career record all that more impressive.
Right.
Because Ocean City never got an opportunity to participate.
No.
They had to sit out.
Yeah, they never had the team strength to qualify for the playoffs and move along and get the extra matches at the Paulsboroughs and the Highlands and the Haddon Township sometimes, the Bunas nowadays. Look at Hanson, the record he's got going into this state championship. What an amazing young man.
Well, he's now 96, right?
96 now, 95 and 3, he's 96. If he wins a state title, that puts him at 99, and very few wrestlers by the end of their junior years have ever had 100 wins. Matt Suter was one.
51 seconds remaining in the second period.
Well, that's a real dogfight down there.
Yep, McConnell leading 4-2, and I think he was caught for stalling a few seconds back. Yep. I saw the head coach from Collingswood jump up and protest.
Colbert's got a death grip on him. Colbert's ridden him this whole period so far. 15 seconds left in the period.
Well, he's been able to get to the side, work some arm bars.
Oh, my. In the opinion of the official, they were both out of bounds when control was lost, so there is no change.
9 seconds remaining in the second period.
Well, it should be a hellacious third period.
And that'll end the second period for Tom McConnell of Collingswood takes a 4-2 lead going into the third and final period at 145 pounds.
The first you're flying this one. Colbert's got to start on the bottom. He was taken down twice in the first period, and that's the difference right now. 2 takedowns, 2 escapes, and then he rode out the entire second period. So it's 4-2 McConnell of Collingswood.
McConnell on top.
There's an escape.
And there's the escape by Colbert.
It's the third time he's escaped. The difference in the match, the 2 takedowns. Oh my, try to shrug. Yeah, get out of bounds, guys. No, maybe not.
Tried to
look at that move by McConnell.
McConnell worked an ankle pick, but Colbert looked like he was able to keep the wizard in.
That's it.
And stay neutral. .130 remaining. A long night of wrestling here. We've been going at it since 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
we're on our second round.
Second round, televising the second round.
It's now 9:43, so we've been here 3.5 hours.
We get paid overtime for being here for the whole thing.
You mean you get paid? If you get overtime, that means you're getting straight time. Unbelievable. 50 seconds remaining in the third period. Stalemate.
Oh my. Chips are on the line. 52 seconds to go. Injury timeout.
Colbert grabbing his left ankle. And while they're at an injury timeout, let's go over to mat number 1 where it's Brown and Calhoun.
Good match down here on mat number 1, Nick, where Dan Calhoun, the third place wrestler from Region 8, has just given up a takedown to the Region 8 champion, Jason Brown, and Jason Brown takes a 3-2 lead with 1:11 to go in the third period.
So outstanding matches on both mats.
Here's a situation where Brown gave up an escape in the second period and then was called for stalling twice. Calhoun had a 2-0 lead, and Brown's come back with the escape and the takedown to lead 3-2.
While Steve keeps a close eye on mat number 1, let's go to mat number 2 where there's 45 seconds remaining in the third period, and Mike McConnell off Collingswood leading that. Excuse me, Tom McConnell.
And time running out for Brian Colbert, the All-South Jersey football player. If he wants to keep the dream alive for a state championship, he has to win here. Gets in deep.
Good cross-grain single, wants to switch to a double.
Oh my!
Lifts McConnell.
Oh my!
Gets the takedown. 20 seconds remaining in this match.
Oh, brother.
Brian Colbert takes the first lead ever for him. He leads 5-4, whistled out of bounds, 11 seconds remaining. As John, you mentioned that you called it all along. The fur is flying.
Yes, and 11 seconds can be like an eternity here. Got to hold him down for 11 seconds.
McConnell needs an escape to tie it up.
Send it into overtime.
We haven't had an overtime this round.
This round, had one the first round. There's the escape.
There's the escape.
We're tied.
7 seconds.
Oh my.
5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Overtime. We're tied 5-5. Both wrestlers, no resting period, will stand, put their feet on the line, go head to head.
How about this? Love it. 5-5.
2 minutes on the clock. caution called against.
That was a
McConnell.
caution on McConnell and for making a move too soon, and everything carries over. I don't think he had any cautions in the regulation, but everything carries over.
So Colbert taking an injury timeout. And it's 23 seconds. I'm looking at Steve Anuszewski. He's looking at the clock on mat 1. 23 seconds remaining. It's tied 3-3 with
Another barn
Brown
burner here on mat number 1.
and Calhoun.
Calhoun going for the takedown. He's behind him. No points yet. He's in now. He's in now. Nothing yet. 2 points.
And there's a takedown by Calhoun.
It's going to be all over.
8 seconds. 4, 3, 2. That's it. Dan Calhoun of Washington Township upsets the Region 8 champion Jason Brown by a score of 5-3. And with that, we're going to switch back to mat number 2, where the overtime match is now starting.
Big upset by Dan Calhoun, and now we get it back to mat 2.
Let's go to mat number 2, where they're ready about to start the overtime. It's tied 5-5 overtime, 145 pounds. Just witnessed an upset victory at 152 pounds where Calhoun upset the Region 8 champion, Jason Brown, by a score of 5-2.
Third placer he was. He lost to Brown 3-2 in that region. As you see McConnell go for the takedown, but the whizzer is in. It's the only thing stopping the takedown here at this point by Colbert.
Wizard is still in.
Wizard is
No
still in.
control, and a gutsy effort by Colbert. Facing him.
He's got to rip it down hard. He's got to get out of bounds. They're near the line. They're out of bounds. They're out of bounds.
I think that's a good call. I think it's a good call because McConnell's right knee may went out with him.
That's right. And both feet have to be in bounds when you get complete control. But that was darn close.
Boy, it's a shame someone has to lose this match.
Wow, yeah. When you get to this level, it's a shame anybody has to lose, but it's tough. All these matches are tough. There's a
snap in.
oh, brother!
Out of bounds.
Oh my!
Out of bounds, 58 seconds
How close that was.
remaining in this first period overtime.
Boy, this is great wrestling.
Worth the price of admission just for this weight and matchup alone.
See Ralph Ross in the corner. Ralph Ross, senior, down on all fours. His assistant Mike Lamb up, clapping, saying, "Do it here now, do it, end it."
40 seconds.
Keep the arm side up.
Pops the head out.
Oh no!
No takedown yet. McConnell has the leg. He's holding on. No takedown.
As long as he has that leg, there'll be no takedown. He's got, unless he gets cross body in.
The match is made. There's a takedown. Colbert gets the takedown. He wins the match. 28 seconds remaining in the first period.
How about that?
By a score of 7-5.
Unbelievable.
Brian Colbert of Highland beats the Region 7 champion by a score of 7-5 overtime.
And that means the second place and the third place wrestlers from Region 8 at 145 advance. The champion does not.
So wrestling right now on a mat number 1, you can see Brian Colbert being congratulated is Brian Lewis of Highland, a senior 32-1, going up against Jason Baker of Pennsville, a senior 27-4, and yet another all Region 8 match.
Well, here's a situation where Brian Lewis, the all-time winningest wrestler in Highland history, is up against Jason Baker, the third place finisher in Region 8 from Pennsville High School.
People might remember Jason
Lewis has
Baker.
placed in the States the last 2 seasons, placed fifth, sixth, as they say. They don't wrestle that match anymore. 4-time Region 8 finalist, 2-time Region 8 champion. He's got Baker in big-time trouble here.
Two-point near fall for Lewis.
4-0 at the end of 1. Brian Lewis takes the lead.
And the match starting on mat 2 is Angelo Carter of Pemberton going up against Carl Haywood of Shallock. Haywood placed second in Region 8 at 152 pounds. Boy, what a matchup. Holbert and McConnell. What
Wow.
just a great, outstanding, gutsy performance by both wrestlers.
As you said, worth the price of admission. 5-5, tied up late by McConnell, and then the overtime with 28 seconds, the takedown with 28 seconds left in the overtime.
Here on mat number 1, Lewis has Baker in trouble again in the near cradle. Hasn't scored yet, but here it comes.
You know, Steve, how impressive is that when you do a near side cradle and take him right across your back, even in any type of level competition, but that just shows the confidence that Lewis has.
Yeah, it's called cradle confidence, and it's something that you drill in practice is a cradle confidence drill. No matter which way the guy goes, you just don't unlock your grip. And sure enough, if he moves, he's going to put himself in a precarious situation, and you can score. Although he didn't score there.
And Baker was able to momentarily look like he had an opportunity to get some points. Let's see Lewis right back in again on him. Really never gave Baker an opportunity to get out. We're going over on mat number 2. Looks like Carl Haywood of Shallot.
And he's got the
Angelo Carter, the number 1, well, not the number 1 seed, but the Region 7 champion, on his back with 35 seconds remaining in the first period. He's got him tight, too. That's it. Boy, we couldn't see it because we got the Lewis matchup. But Carl Haywood of Shallot pins Angelo Carter from Region 7 in 1 minute 27 seconds.
Carl Haywood advances to the state quarterfinals.
There you can see Haywood gets his hand raised, and you know what a great feeling that has to be, because he was pinned in the Region 8 finals by Lewis. By Brown of Oakcrest.
Right, Carl Haywood, a junior, walks in there with a 26-1 record. He's now 27-1, and Angelo Carter been around. Big win for the Shallot wrestler.
We're back on mat 1.
Haywood got caught in the region finals. He really did by Brown. And who knows what would have happened in that match, but right now he is in the state quarterfinals. The runner-up from Region 8 advances at 152. Brian Lewis in control here, 6-0 on mat number 1. End of the second period. Jason Baker's trying, but Brian Lewis is one tough competitor. .160 is going to be a tough weight class in the state tournament with Hakeem and.
Yep, let's go to mat number 2.
Got Dave Schultz of Absegami against Pat Duff of Delray, and we saw Duff win in the earlier round tonight. Schultz, the Region 8 champion.
And that is 171 pounds.
Schultz has got the takedown.
Duff,
Dave the Hammer.
Duff, a senior from Delran. And we'll go back to mat number 2. Let's finish up mat number 1, where Lewis is in total control of Baker. Taking a look, Lewis has one loss this season, and I see from John Vogeding's stats that his only loss was at 189 pounds.
Up 2 weight.
Up 2 weight class. He lost that 4-3.
So Joe Klein of Eastern, who we'll see wrestle in a few minutes.
That's 29 pounds.
Well,
that's 29 pounds. That's almost another me.
Yeah, a piece of cake for Lewis. Lewis, a 4-time district champion, a 4-time Region 8 finalist, 2 times a champion there.
Yeah, but 29 pounds, John, for God's sakes.
Alan Maloney dropping by our location here to say hello. Wrestling official.
With his little dude.
Former Edgewood High School wrestler, where he placed 3rd in the state of New Jersey.
3-time regional champion.
1 minute remaining in this match. Lewis leading 8-1. 35 seconds. You know, it really has been all Brian Lewis. It's been a very controlled, methodical match. Nothing really fancy.
Right.
But he's just doing the job.
Just outclassing Jason Baker at this point. Jason Baker will go into the wrestlebacks where he had some success last year. Brian Lewis will attempt to win a state title. He's been close. He's been to the state semifinals before as a sophomore. This being his last shot.
7 seconds remaining. Seconds, and Brian Lewis will win this match by a score of 8-1. Over Baker of Pennsville. He gets his hands raised in victory. Let's take a short break and come back to Cherry Hill East right after this. Let's go to mat number 2, where we just saw a fall. John, why don't you tell us about it, even though we came up a little short?
All right, 6-3 lead by Dave Schultz, wrestling Pat Duff of Del Rand. And Schultz dropped the hammer on him.
So Schultz of Absegami wins by fall, and he'll go on to the winner's bracket.
And hopefully he will not be seated in the 8th position and have to wrestle Glenn Pritzlaff on Friday night.
Yeah, Glenn Pritzlaff, an excellent wrestler, returning as state champions, already signed, sealed, and delivered to Penn State for next year. Trying to make Elaine Koshu very happy.
Well, on mat number one, we have Corey Bird of Oakcrest, a sophomore, 28-1, going up against Region 7 champion Mark Barachek from Shawnee, a senior, 17-2.
Corey Bird lost in the region finals to Brian Lewis from Highland, his only loss this season.
160 pounds. And Bird leading 2-0. Then why this match is proceeding, and we have 171 pounds over on mat number 2. Looks like Joel Caruso of Collingswood.
Yeah,
and Brian Palmero of Middle Township.
Yeah, it looks like Caruso is really in charge, Nick, and Region 7 hasn't had a champion since the 135-pound weight class where Brett Matter and John Baer both won. They've been shut out since.
We have an injury on Barachek on mat number 1, and Joel Caruso of Collingswood, here we are on mat number 2. He's 27-0.
Undefeated season for the Collingswood Panthers, and maybe not getting the kind of publicity he deserves. Maybe if his first name was Enrico, he'd get more publicity.
Should I do my
Caruso?
Mario Alonso, who was the great Enrico Caruso's mentor, even though he died before Mario was born.
I know you knew all that about the opera.
Enrico Caruso died January 31st. Mario Alonso was born January 31st. Mario Alonso believed he was reincarnated.
I'm getting a history lesson here.
Let's talk about something that makes sense.
Boy, Mario Alonso, beautiful singer.
Alonso, Mario.
Bring a
this
cheer to
is
my
Joel.
second.
This is Joel
Caruso.
And he's winning 2-0.
Joel Caruso winning 2-0 over Brian Palermo, Middle Township, school not very recognized for having wrestlers in regional championships or state championships, but Palermo better enjoy his moment in the sun because Caruso is kind of dominating the match right now.
55 seconds remaining.
By the way, had an opportunity to talk with Joel Caruso's mother on the telephone, wondering why wrestlers in the upper weights rarely get their pictures in the paper.
Did you have an answer?
Well, it's a matter of deadlines. Some photographers out, they usually shoot the first 3 or 4 weight classes, and then they're out of the building to get their film developed and get it on the press in time to get them rolling.
That's a good answer, but didn't she tell you change the deadlines of the paper?
Yes, she did.
25 seconds remaining in the first period, and it is old Joel Caruso. He's leading 7-0.
Didn't exactly fall on deaf ears. I appreciate what she's talking about.
Boy, I tell you what, I momentarily looked over on mat number 1, and Corey Bird is going to be called for an illegal slam over Baracek.
Mark Barazik hit pretty hard. Now, I don't know what the extent of the injury is.
There we go, Barazik. We got to bring
point.
Anuszewski in to tell us how to pronounce that name.
Mark Barazik.
Yeah, we were saying Baracek.
Yeah.
Good job. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate that. And here we are, and this is the injury. Barazik is down, and I believe there was a point awarded.
Yes, there was.
It should have been because he brought him down awfully hard on it. And it was across the knee also. It'll be interesting. Now, Steve, if Baracek doesn't get up, he could win the match because the penalty points been
That's
awarded.
right, and that'd be a shame. Hopefully he's not injured, and he will be able to continue.
Well, let's go over to mat number 2, where Caruso now takes a 9-0 lead.
He's leading 9-0. He's on the bottom as you see him coming out here against Palermo. Gets a reversal. That makes it 11-0. We'll get back points. It's going to make it at least 13-0, maybe 14-0. But he can't get sloppy here and get the tech fall if he's careful. No back points?
Somebody missed him. You didn't, but somebody did.
Jeez, I thought I saw at least a 2 count.
Tough crowd here tonight. Not only in the stands, but wearing headsets.
What was the score when the slam occurred over here?
I think it was 2-1.
But now it's 2-2.
Yeah. 58 seconds remaining in the second period, and Caruso 4 points away from technical falling.
Yeah, he's dominating the match.
Palermo of Middle Township.
Palermo Jr. He's getting a little bit of an indoctrination here. What a great year Caruso's had. Unscathed, 27-0.
And he really has been in total control of this match.
Dominating.
He's stepping over. He's going to try to double grapevine.
Well, he's got to fall here.
That's
If he locks it up, rushed it a little bit.
He gets
a little
reversed.
sloppy.
Looks like that's going to be a 2-2.
And a near fall 2 and a reversal, Middle Township reversal for 2.
So it's 13-2, 15 seconds remaining in the second period. You know, I'm just taking a look over on mat number 1. You know, I'm going to be surprised if that match continues.
Doesn't look good.
Yeah, I don't think he's steady.
Does not look good.
And that's the end of the second period, where Caruso takes a 13-2 lead. Now, Steve, we're going over to mat number 1 now, and he's not steady, but guess what? He's going to continue.
Well, I think that's a great sportsmanship gesture.
You have to give the Shawnee wrestler Barazik a lot of credit. You have to give Roger Poulin, the head coach of Shawnee, a lot of credit for that. Takes a lot of courage right there to continue.
Yeah, because you know we've seen also many times in the past a coach not letting his wrestler get up from that, and of course that if he did not continue, it would have been a win for Shawnee.
Now, question on the injury timeout. Either of you can field this, but he used a minute and a half of his injury timeout. That means he only has 30 seconds left.
That is correct.
So even though it wasn't his fault.
No, what happens is that's recovery time. That's a separate clock. So when he was slammed, he has 2 minutes recovery time. If he is injured and it's not because of an illegal move by the other wrestler, he still has his 2 minutes injury time.
I only brought that up because, of course, I don't know the rules, but because it wasn't his fault, I didn't know if it could be held against him.
Right, it isn't. That's exactly right. It's called recovery time.
Well, we see the end of the 171-pound match where Joe Caruso wins that
They
one.
won by tech fall, 18-2. I didn't quite catch the time.
We're back now at mat number 1 where it's 3-2. That of Shawnee.
Mark Barazik of Shawnee leading Corey Bird here, 3-2, a minute and 11 to go in the second period.
Looking over, excuse me, Steve, just looking over on mat number 2. Looks like Joe Klein of Eastern going up against Scott Smith of Middle Township, 189 pounds. Yeah, wrestling on mat 2. And here we are still on mat 1 where Corey Bird now leads 4-3.
"13 winners so far for Region 8, 8 for Region 7.
So far, not a bad showing for Region 8. We're just looking over on mat number 2. Klein of Eastern has Smith in trouble. So much trouble that he was pinned in 54 seconds. So Joe Klein of Eastern at 189 pounds pinned Scott Smith of Middle Township in
54 seconds. Well, Middle Township brought 2 wrestlers here, and 2 wrestlers lost in this round.
Yep, they'll still go to Atlantic City in the wrestlebacks.
Go to AC.
And we're back at mat number 1, 160 pounds. Corey Bird leading 4-3. Oh. Make that 5-3.
Bird leads by a 5-3 score here, Nick.
And taking a look over on mat number 2, it's going to be an outstanding heavyweight matchup. Looks like that's going to be Matt Klaus of Haddon Township and Cornelius Cruz of Oak Crest.
Cornelius Cruz we saw last week. He's undefeated.
Yeah, let's go to mat 2 where, John, we've seen Matt Klaus wrestle before on Channel 5 and an outstanding wrestler. And of course we've seen Cornelius Cruz wrestle
Who
on
just
Channel 5.
got a takedown there. Cornelius Cruz, 197 pounder, so he's one of the lighter heavyweights in South Jersey. Virtually everybody else is over 200 pounds. And we saw him in the Region 8 tournament take on guys as big as 272 pounds and kind of dominate. But you know, Matt Klaus, Region 7 has some great heavyweights. And Matt Klaus, who pinned Michello of Paul VI and then lost, as you see him get a reversal there, he lost 12-0 to that Kevin Landolt of Holy Cross. So some very talented heavyweights in Region 7.
This is a great bout here. 2 great wrestlers. Cornelius Cruz going to Rhode Island on a football scholarship.
Now he's very, he's got a lot of ability, but he's in trouble now. He's in deep trouble.
Klaus has
Bad trouble.
Cruz in a headlock.
Oh my!
Look at
the strength of Cruz. Oh brother! That makes it 5-4. Klaus is leading, but look at that strength of Cruz. As Steve mentioned, going to Rhode Island on a football scholarship, 27-0 this year for Cruz. And Matt Klaus, 26-1. He's a junior. He's got another year. What a brute.
These guys really move like lightweights too.
They're not your stereotypical heavyweights.
No,
they are cut.
They are.
And they are strong.
You got a brute with some slick moves out there, and you got a slick mover. And of course, in the Haddon Township corner, the old veteran Miller Preston as coach, and his young stud Dave Stanton, who twice made it to the state championships. Didn't win, but got there.
He played second one year, a senior year,
Second
correct?
senior year, went to James Madison, wrestled there. He's done a lot. He had a heavyweight last year, Steve Randazzo, that he did wonders with, and Matt Klaus this year.
Klaus get the reversal.
You see in the corner there, that was Dave Stanton doing the clapping, the redhead with the glasses. Quite a heavyweight himself, and he's done wonders with the Haddon Township heavyweights the last couple years.
14 seconds in the first period.
7-4, Klaus has the lead.
On the match on mat 1, Nick and John, it seems that Corey Bird will win a comfortable decision. He's leading 11-5 with 19 seconds remaining in the 160-pound. pre-quarterfinal.
And Bird beats the Region 7 champion.
You know, a few years ago, you saw a Region 8 final with Damian Covington and Patrick Lynch. Damian winning the Region 8 title, and a week later they met in the state finals and with the same outcome.
And that'll be it. Corey Bird of Oakcrest wins that match 13-6.
Look out.
And we are now going to float over back to mat 2, where Cornelius Cruz of Oakcrest narrows the margin. He's only down by 1 now, 7-6.
A real slugfest down there.
One thing in this match, Cruz is a real high rider. He gets up around the guy's chest, and Klaus likes the Peterson roll. So you've seen it twice already. We'll see if that happens here.
1:22 remaining in the second period.
Cruz starting on top, but as Steve said, watch if he gets too high here, Klaus could rip him right over. So while Cornelius Cruz is going on one mat, his teammate James Jenkins is battling on the other mat.
John said James Jenkins of Oakcrest, 189 pounds, going up against Cliff Barnes of Collingswood.
Boy, Jenkins looked tough in that Region 8 meet. Klaus escaped down the other end, so we have an 8-6 match with Klaus in the lead. His brother, Chuck, the head coach at Haddonfield High School this last year. The coach who brought Bill Candy here tonight. Oh my.
Peterson roll, roll.
Oh, brother. Haddon Township takedown and an Oakcrest reversal. 10-8, wild one.
25 seconds remaining in the second period.
I think you might see a Japanese wizard by Cornelius Cruz before this is over. He's got a good one.
Working for the cross-face cradle now, 8 seconds. Usually you see the Haddon Township wrestlers work on the cross-face cradle. 2 seconds. And that's the end of the second period, where Matt Klaus of Haddon Township takes a 10-8 lead.
Well, let's see what happens in this third period. It's wild and woolly.
Just taking a look at the fans, not too many of them have left.
Few have wandered out.
Well, I think that's just so they try to beat some of the traffic out of here. It's difficult coming in and out. They're going to have one lane, no police, and that Crescent Road is a very busy road.
Right, Springdale Road shut down. There's a detour out there.
Again, Cruz looks like he's working on the cradle. He needs to turn Klaus over.
You know, Klaus was beaten in the finals of the Regions 11-0 by Landolt.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see Landolt.
Yeah, I was going to ask John about that, because when I saw it in the paper, I've seen Klaus wrestle before, and when I saw a score like that, I was just wondering, was it an injury? Was there a sickness?
Now, I understand from people who saw the match that the score was that indicative.
Just an old-fashioned...
That's an old-fashioned butt kicking.
Yes.
That's how dominant Landolt was. Landolt, of course, going to West Virginia next year on a football scholarship.
Great, just what I wanted to hear.
Rutgers lost another one.
Yeah, another New Jersey, and leaves and goes on to...
Well, you got the one heavyweight, Landolt, going to West Virginia. You got another heavyweight, Cornelius Cruz, out there going to Rhode Island. Rhode Island.
Beautiful country, at least.
Rutgers in New Jersey. I read an interesting thing the other day in the paper, too, in the Courier Post on the op-ed page. Some thoughts about some of the assemblymen or senators or somebody wanting to change the name
Senator
of Rutgers?
DeFrancisco, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think that's a dirty deal. I think we ought to keep Rutgers a state university.
Well, see, it is Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey. That's the name.
Right.
You know, the publicity now is,
Here it comes, guys.
watch for the big throw. I guess the publicity now is, you know, to give
Got
New Jersey,
Whizzer right here.
to give New Jersey some recognition throughout the state or throughout the country.
I thought
My brother's been reading an op-ed up in the New York papers, and it said, well, why don't you change the state of New Jersey to Rutgers? Because Rutgers enjoys a great reputation outside the country.
No, I thought that was pretty interesting. I kind of enjoyed that about Henry Rutgers and reading all about that. See,
Yep, Colonel Henry Rutgers. Anyway, 35 seconds remaining in this match. Mount
We're
Cloud.
11 to 10.
Yep, only up by 1, 11 to 10, and Klaus on the bottom.
Well, what do you do here? You got to cut him loose.
And you can
Klaus-
see, yep,
Klaus has been warned for stalling, too.
Cruz
Gotta cut him loose.
Cruz has elected the freestyle. It's now 12 to 10. Cornelius Cruz must take him down to send this into overtime.
Two football players out there. We'll see who's got the better takedown, who's got the better tackle, but that's what it's going to come down to. Dave Stanton encouraging him. You see Miller Preston or Doug Servey in the corner, his last year as the head coach.
Boy, good double leg.
Oh, my, look at that.
Where's the stall warning? But I guess there's really not much you can do when a person comes out you like
Guy
that.
charges you. You got to circle. You got to stay in the center of the mat.
There's another
Look at
double
this.
leg.
Oh, my.
Takedown. Good call.
Oh, brother, that was close to being a takedown for Klaus.
You know, Cruz went in, double leg, Klaus pancaking. Haven't seen a pancake like that in a long time. But it was done out of bounds. There's the stall warning.
That's a point.
There's 1 point.
Makes it 12-11.
14 seconds remaining. Heavyweight. Klaus of Haddon Township leading by 1.
Got Whizzer.
Well, he's got 8 seconds, Nick.
8 seconds. Klaus able to get the underhooks on Cruz, so able to maintain some control.
Undefeated, Cornelius Cruz.
Cruz takes a wild shot. 4 seconds. Klaus will hold on. 2, 1.
Oh, brother.
That's it. That's Klaus of Haddon Township wins.
What a
12
match.
to 11. Over the previously unbeaten Cornelius Cruz. So Klaus, little redemption here. He gets blown out in the Region 7 finals and comes back and beats the Region 8 champion 12 to 11. Let's take a break and come back to Cherry Hill East right after this. Mat number 2, heavyweight, Kevin Landau of Holy Cross, 25-0, going up against Joe Michella of Paul VI, 18-3. And this is the Landau that we've heard so much about.
Well, this is the Landau that beat Matt Klaus 12-0 in the regional final. We just saw Matt Klaus beat undefeated Cornelius Cruz. Michella lost to Klaus by a fall in a district tournament. He lost to Landau 7-1. He lost by injury default to Shakir of Camden.
Landau, the taller wrestler with the two-colored uniform. And Steve, we have James Jenkins from Oakcrest on mat number 1 going up against Cliff Barnes. Third period there. What do you got there score-wise?
Yeah, James Jenkins had a comfortable lead in this match when Cliff Barnes of Collingswood came back, and now Jenkins leads by 10 to 8.
104 remaining in that one.
104 to go in the third period.
There's going to be an injury
Oh,
timeout.
my.
There'll be an injury timeout on mat 1. As this match proceeds, if we see that we should switch, we'll switch over as soon as we can.
Landau with a takedown in his match. Now I see why. He's a big brute, too.
Boy, he really is tall.
Yeah.
Looking forward to a big weekend of wrestling this week in Atlantic City, and then next weekend at Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
You're not going down to Nationals, are you, Steve? Are you going down to Nationals?
Oh yeah.
Channel 5.
Yeah.
Channel
I'm taking
5.
my golf clubs though.
Channel 5 sending him, John.
I'll tee it up every morning, go to the Nationals in the afternoon and the evening,
That's what he thinks.
Channel 5 sending Steve.
That's
you
what
going?
he thinks. Yeah, I'm there.
But Channel 5's not sending you.
No.
They're sending Steve. Can you believe
What
that?
do you mean Channel 5 sending
Channel
Steve?
5 is sending Steve.
I don't believe it.
Learjet. I'm flying in a Learjet.
I can't get a Channel 5
corporate
jacket, and he's going to go to North Carolina
I
on
don't know
Channel
anything. That's
5?
what I heard.
Yeah, in the Channel 5 corporate Learjet.
You mean that biplane that comes out of Cross Keys Airport?
It's been a long night of wrestling here, no doubt about that, but some good wrestling. 37 seconds remaining in the first period. Landolt leading 2-0 over Michello, Paul VI.
Going to West Virginia.
Well, 41 seconds. Let's go to mat 1 if we can, because there's only 41 seconds remaining in that
Big match here on mat number 1. Cliff Barnes is trailing James Jenkins of Oakcrest by a score of 10-9 with
Barnes
28 seconds to go.
That's Barnes in on the takedown.
And no takedown with 21 seconds to go. James Jenkins of Oakcrest leads Cliff Barnes of Collingswood 10-9.
Jenkins, the Region 8 champion from Oakcrest. Barnes in deep in on a single. Change it to a double. Jenkins looking up to the clock. Trying to cross-face and sprawl. He does. 4 seconds. He'll stay there. Oh, Roy Fenimore stops the clock with 2 seconds. If he was able to hang on right there,
He better get up and get to the center.
You can see head coach Doug Serby. He was signaling him to get in there. Good cross-face. That'll be it. James Jenkins of Oakcrest will win that match 10-9. And that's 189 pounds. So nice job by Jenkins hanging on and winning that match. And with that, we're on mat 2, the last match of the evening in progress.
And one thing we know for sure, guys, that's that Region 8 will have 15 winners this evening, because what's left on mat number 2 are 2 Region 7 wrestlers. So they will have
A bunch of seeds.
Now, the only people that get seated, John, are the people that win tonight, right?
They'll have 11. Yeah, the winners are the ones that can be seated. The people that lose tonight cannot be seated.
Now, how do you do that? Just pick out of a hat?
Now they
Just
have
the losers.
they have criteria to discuss the winners, and the losers just get cross bracketed across from the bracket of the seated wrestler, and then they just get drawn.
It's interesting that they're going to be cross-bracketed actually into the wrestlebacks, which has never been done before.
Yeah, I
What's
think
the advantage of that?
well, you try and separate the guys as best you can so they don't meet each other too soon coming back in the tournament.
Here you have a situation where you might have one wrestler who doesn't have a seeding criteria be upset somebody early on and then take his seed. Now you won't have that situation. You'll have the top wrestlers that are remaining in the quarterfinals seated away from each other.
Yep. This is interesting, this bout. Michello is really doing a great job in his second period. He's losing 2-0, but he's kept Landolt down on the mat. Landolt beat him 7-1 earlier this year, so we've seen some revenge matches tonight, and this is another one going on.
1:10 remaining in the second period.
Michello was at 89 last year, wasn't he, Steve?
Yeah, 189 last year. It's interesting, he wrestled his freshman year at Haddon Heights High School for George Meyer and transferred to Paul VI as a sophomore.
Oh, brother. Poor George.
I think he was had about 15 wins as a freshman at 171 pounds. I remember him wrestling Chuck Ramsey from Paulsboro, Chuck Ramsey being a senior at the time, and Ramsey didn't pin him.
Huh.
He was a heck of a wrestler, so that you pretty much knew that this Michello kid was going to be a very tough wrestler in years to come, and he's proven that.
52 seconds remaining in the second period. Kevin Landolt of Holy Cross leading 2-0 over Joe Michello of Paul VI. Michello on top.
Moving very well, too. Now, familiarity. Both wrestlers, I'm sure, know each other's best moves. thought maybe we'd see more sparks. You can see a stalling warning against Landau. I thought we'd see more sparks in this one, Nick.
Well, I guess it's all strategy now. I mean, you don't want to go out and be too aggressive if you're a Landau, you just want to try to win the match. And Micella, if they wrestled before, maybe you're right. Maybe you got to go out because you have nothing to lose.
And
but he's keeping it close enough so he's in striking distance.
And you come in here as third in the region, too. The number 2 man in the region, Matt Klaus, has already won.
Michella's been here before. He placed in the top 6 last year in the state at 189. Landau was also at 189 last year. In fact, he beat Paulsboro's Michael Bell in the first round of the state tournament and then lost to Michella. If I remember, that was a real close match too, John.
Yes.
Last year, Michella and Landau.
And you see the stalling warning given to Michella for the same thing we've seen earlier this evening. Bottom wrestler stands up, top wrestler gets behind him. He's got to try and make every attempt to bring him down to the mat.
And when you stand up, if you want to stay standing up, you can do it.
Yes.
Just run around. You're in the bottom, you just keep moving. Well, just keep standing up and running around. Just keep moving. But at the end of the second period, Kevin Landau taking a 2-0 lead.
And
I'll be surprised if Michella can't get away from Landau, so I think it's going to come down to one takedown here.
Well, I was going to say, the interesting thing is that Holy Cross, Kevin Landau was on the bottom of that period and was held there the whole 2 minutes. Michella escapes here, then it's going to come down to that, and you could have your stalling call come into effect here too. Oh boy, I'll say.
Now, is that because of you had the one arm locked up and you brought him down on that shoulder?
Yes.
Was that a new rule change last year or 2 years ago?
Now, they call that potentially dangerous. Anytime a wrestler, they try and stop that if they can.
Because he hit the mat
you have
that
an
time.
unexposed area going to the mat first. So if they can stop it in time, they do. If they can't stop it in time, they usually blow the whistle right away and say it was potentially dangerous and check out the health of the wrestler who was just taken down to that one shoulder pretty hard.
Yeah, I could see a shoulder being popped out very easily.
If they're standing and an arm is trapped like that and somebody sees a back heel trip, they'll stop it and call it potentially dangerous before that trip can bring the wrestler down to the mat.
Yeah,
Nick, how come they didn't have all these rules when we wrestled? My shoulders would I'd probably be able to sleep on my left side if they had all these rules when we wrestled.
Anuszewski, you could sleep anywhere, on your head, on your shoulders.
Well, that's what happened. They see what happened and how we turned out, and they said, "Uh-oh, we better change that."
I know.
We better change that.
I agree with it.
Well, I think safety first is obviously a concern of the wrestlers, of the coaches, and of the officials, and they don't want to see anybody get hurt out there. And these are a couple of big brutes out there flipping around.
1:32 remaining.
Well, the officials are certainly out there for the safety of the wrestlers, and in the 90s, I guess when they're graduating thousands of people from law school every year, you want to make sure that you have your butt covered, so to speak.
That is true.
Oh, 128. Michella on the bottom.
This is really intriguing.
Having the opportunity to win this match. He's down by 2.
Yeah, he'd have to get out. He'd have to get 2 points somehow.
And with that, he'll tie it up. Landau, he's working that bar arm series.
Oh, my. If he gets him turn here, Nick, it could be curtains.
Stall warning. Called.
I'll tell you what.
Now, how can that be?
That
You're on
might
top.
take the cake.
You're on top. You got a bar arm. You're working to the side. You're trying to sit through. And the top man is called for
I have
stalling.
an arm bar,
and it cost you a point.
The guy on the bottom's trying not to go over, and the top guy gets called for stalling.
And that cost him a point. So now if Michella gets the reversal, he wins the match.
And if he gets the escape, it ties it up, maybe sends it into overtime. I don't know. I don't profess to understanding that one either.
Steve Anuszewski said that takes the cake.
Unbelievable.
Well, 56 seconds remaining. Landau of Holy Cross leading 2-1. He is on top.
Oh my. There, almost.
Back heel.
Oh, if he drives the half. Just missed it.
I was just thinking, if Landau doesn't
Granby.
do anything, he doesn't want to give up the reversal.
Oh, look at this. At least one.
Nope, he's going to Landau still stay on top, 40 seconds.
No change.
I guess Landau, if he wants to do anything, just
change.
give him the escape. Doesn't want to give the reversal because he loses with the reversal. With an escape, it sends it into overtime.
I missed something on that last one. Caution on Landau.
Ticks of the clock remaining.
Well, Landau's got a caution call. He's got a stalling call.
Good stand up by Michello. You know, Michello stands up again and Landau pushes him out of bounds. There's the possibility of another point.
You're absolutely right.
I'm not saying it'll happen, but everything's been happening tonight.
Yeah, you can be called for intentionally driving a guy out of bounds. Boy, this is a tough bout. Two groups.
Now, if anything, Landau is caught for stalling now because he's riding from behind. That's the time to call it, not the time when he had the forearm series.
I think this is more of an infraction here than before.
Yeah, I mean, he's literally riding from behind. His left leg has never made it out of Michello's legs.
There it is.
There it is.
Okay, now I can buy that one. But there's 11 seconds left in this match, and it's now tied. That's the only stall I could have bought. The one previously I couldn't have. Overtime. It's that simple. No rest. Both wrestlers. Oh, and there's going to be an injury timeout here.
Blood.
Yep. Michello's going to
Like
take an
a
injury
blood
timeout.
timeout.
So with that, no time, right? Correct? Or how does that work? Give me the ruling on
No
the blood.
timeout for blood.
So the clock continually goes.
Well,
if it's a big gash, that's where
up to the referee.
That's the referee's decision whether or not you continue the match. Well, let's take a quick break, and we're going to come right back, though, right after this.
Time.
Okay, it's overtime at the heavyweight classification. Landau and Michello, we're tied 2-2.
Thank God we're not in Absecon or somewhere. We have a short ride home.
If you get out of the parking lot in time here.
Just a little pep talk before we go, and here we go.
Oh my. Oh, Michello looks revived. There's Landau behind.
Backyard trip. 2 points. There's the takedown. 11 seconds in overtime. Kevin Landau wins the match 4-2. You know, that was just a gutsy effort by both wrestlers. Not really sure. We should have went in overtime to begin with, but either way, I think maybe the right wrestler won anyway.
Well, big win for Kevin Landau and Joe Masella in the wrestlebacks, and great bout at heavyweight. So a lot of great wrestling tonight.
Yep. Of course, every wrestler that we've seen tonight will go to Atlantic City, either in the winner's bracket and the loser's bracket. Region 8, as John Vogeding has said, have won 15 matches tonight. And,
in this round.
In this round, correct. This round, not the first round, right, you're right. And Region 7 has won 11.
15 to 11, the split.
Yeah.
Region 8 had nobody at 103, and they had nobody at heavyweight.
So overall, a great night of wrestling, John. And we're going to recap right here. We'll stay up. Just looking at some individual matches, you know, I'll just talk about the Rodriguez-DePaul match where Rodriguez put a takedown clinic, getting a revenge win over DePaul, who pinned him 50 seconds in the semifinal match, and then Rodriguez taking him down 5 times tonight. And then taking a look at the Mark Sam match. Mark Sam Sandelier. Mark Sam undefeated this year and gets pinned.
And Sandelier, returning champion, coming back, who lost to Greg Harvey in the region semifinals, and Greg Harvey doesn't go to the state tournament, right?
Yeah, Harvey losing in overtime in the first round tonight.
Yeah.
Now, I thought maybe the Sam match and the Sandelier match were much evenly matched than the Harvey Sandelier in the semifinals, only because Sandelier's been injured and Harvey is such a sporadic wrestler, took a lot more out of him, and Sandelier and Sam just matched up, well.
Now we're going to go on Friday night, guys, and just looking at what you saw tonight, state champions, do you see any?
I have to go with Sandelier again. He's a tournament wrestler. I think that loss in the semifinals for him may have helped him a little bit, even though he's been injured. I can't count him out. It's just going to be a rougher road for him.
Well, and he's been hurt, and he's shown the effects of it a little bit. But I mean, he also showed in the regional semifinals with the wild match that it was 17-12, and he showed tonight who I think was an excellent wrestler this year, Mark Sam, pinning him and having, like you said, the decisive lead when he pinned him, 6-1 or something like that.
Right, yeah, 6-1.
I mean, he can't be. He just can't shut the door on him. He's, that adrenaline's got to be flowing again. He's got to think he's got a shot. Mentally at this time of the year, that's one big part of the war, being mentally prepared. And I think that Kevin Landell, Michala is no rinky-dink wrestler out there. He's a tough wrestler. I think Landell's got a definite shot to win a state championship.
I think two wrestlers that impressed me tonight and throughout the year are Bobby Hansen at 119 for Buna High School, and the 135-pounder for Delran, Brett Matter. And both these guys have knocked on the door before, and I think this might be their year.
Well, Hansen, we said 95-3 in his career right now or something like that. I mean, yes. Hey, you've won that many matches and you're a junior and you're going in there. He's got to go in there with a lot of confidence. Now he's got through this regional round, this super regional round where he lost to Justin Hurst 2 years in a row, right?
So, yeah.
Well, he lost last year. 2 years ago, he lost in the semifinals of the States.
To Justin Hurst.
Right.
And last year here he lost to Justin Hurst, so he's got that monkey off his back, and now he ought to be extremely confident walking into the state championships.
And you mentioned Justin Hurst, John, and there's another wrestler who's won over 100 matches, has been in the state finals, and has a shot at 125.
So, we have some wrestlers that should be watched very closely when we go to Atlantic City.
Well, Atlantic City will be Friday night. All the wrestlers, as we said, that won or lost tonight in this round will be competing. No question about it. Let's just recap Channel 5 Wrestling for the year. I think it's been a great year. We've seen some great matches. We've seen some great upsets. And District 29 was exciting. Region 8 was exciting. And tonight's first round was very exciting. So let's wrap up the wrestling season this year. For John Vogeding, Steve Anuszewski, I'm Nick Burzichelli. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Channel 5.